I'm Zach Snyder.
And I'm Aden Matthews.
Welcome back to another YouTube podcast, one-stop shop for anything and everything related to YouTube.
We've done 40 of these.
Number 40, baby.
40. I have parents in their 40s, and you're telling me we've done 40 of these episodes?
We're getting close to getting to the top of the hill.
Top of the hill, okay. Can I die once I get there? Is that an option?
I sure hope so. Let me tell you.
Top of the hill. Yeah, the tippity top. It's been a while.
It has been a while. So for the audience, it will be 4 months without any content, and then they're going to get 3 episodes, an extra episode, and then this. I believe that's correct.
That's a lot of content.
But for us, we recorded 3 of those episodes plus the extra episode like 4 months ago, and then it's been sitting in the hard drive because I'm a bad YouTuber.
We'll get to that with the Your Week on YouTube shit, as we always do.
We always do.
But it's good to be back.
It is.
2:42 a.m.
Yeah, 3:43 a.m. for me. We played a shit ton of Minecraft.
Yeah, we did.
And,
that was a lot of fun, actually. Hopefully that's out by the time you're listening to this, whoever's editing.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So, since it's been a while, we thought... actually, I'll let you talk about the main topic real quick because...
Okay.
You brought it up, and I think it's a great idea.
So the inspiration for this is a little weird, but at the time of us filming this, there's this meme going around of a list of the top 50 rappers of all time that was come up with by a hip-hop podcast, and the list is awful, unanimously bad. It's getting memed on from every corner of the world. To give you an idea, Joe Budden is number 3 all time.
If you're wondering, who's Joe Budden, a lot of people are wondering the same thing as well.
I wish I knew. I really wish I did know. But it's just been getting shat on from every corner. And I thought, hey, what if we did like a top 50 list like that, but instead of rappers, we do YouTubers? Because I figured, hey, it'll probably be awful, but we'll get like coverage for that.
We can get shit on too.
More people will check out the podcast to see what other bad opinions we hold.
I'll make a nice little graphic for it, put it on Instagram and Twitter. Mm-hmm. It'll be hype.
Perfect. It's the perfect idea. So that's what we're doing today. Top 50 YouTubers of all time. I've come up with 50. Zach's come up with 50. We're going to come together. We're going to make our list. We have to agree on it, and we're going to do all the ordering and stuff. So stay tuned for that, because that'll be fun. I have no idea who Zach picked. He has no idea who I picked. We did very little planning beforehand. This will be a cool topic. And a cool, episode 40 kind of topic as well. You know, it's one of those landmark episodes. I figured we'd do, a fun topic to go with it.
I agree. Cool.
Good reference. I like that reference.
It's a good reference. I use it a lot now. It's just funny.
My vocabulary.
Yeah.
It's my vocabulary.
Okay, so, but before all that, we got to hit the yeet and the quant simultaneously and go into that Your Week on YouTube trademark.
Everyone's favorite segment.
Yeah, go and dab. Okay, cool. It's been 4 months, so there's 4 months here. But both of us didn't really do 4 months of YouTube, so it's still probably about a month of shit. But a lot has happened in the last 4 months.
I don't know what you've been doing.
That's true. I mean, we've both been doing
4 months of work.
But it's just been, it's been interesting.
We have a lot to talk about, basically. So if this segment runs a little bit longer than it usually does, apologies in advance. But
it always runs long. What you talking about?
We have so much shit to cover.
I don't even remember everything that happened, from both. So I'm not even going to mention everything.
We'll probably forget a good bit actually too. So yeah.
But we'll
I'm gonna let you go first. I'm gonna let you go first, Zach.
Oh boy.
Congratulations. Okay. You win the lottery of going first.
So, the last time we recorded, like I said, it was 4 months ago, and I want to look at the specific date that we put up that episode, March 31st. So all of April, May, June, July, now part of August. Now I think we talked about some April in the past podcast because I remember talking about the April Fool's Day shit.
Sure.
So I'm going to start at May. Your Everyday Nerd was doing really strong for a while. It was getting a few episodes started to feel a little bit stale, so I took a step back and I tried to like make some episodes better, do a little more skits and shit. And I think I made some of the best episodes in this last like chunk of 10 episodes, which is pretty.
The Loquisha one is pretty epic.
Loquisha is pretty good. There's some American Idol shit that I really liked.
I like that one too.
A couple of food episodes, which were really fun to do. And then I ended, I think it was, what day was it? June 14th, I uploaded episode 100 of the show, which was wild.
Wow.
Really
we talked
wild.
about the show's inception on this podcast. So it's cool that, like, there's now 100 of these bastards out, and we're still doing this podcast.
It's cool. It's really cool. I'm still excited that 100 episodes have been put out. This was like 2 months ago, and you're wondering, well, Zach, why aren't you putting out any more episodes? And we'll get into that. But basically, I decided to take a little bit of a break from uploading so I could work on a season 2 per se. And then life started getting a little wild again, so I haven't really put out a whole lot. But before I talk about my uploading hiatus, I've put out an entire comedy album since the last episode. We put out the first one in April, and I believe we talked about that in the last episode. But I've put out a whole entire other album since then.
Jeez.
And it's
I forgot about this stuff.
It's like 1,000 times better than the first one.
Wow.
IMO.
That was all this year?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's
We do
kind of
too
wild.
much.
I agree.
We do too much.
I agree.
But they're both really good. The second one especially.
Thank you, man. And then I started working on a third one. I have like eight songs. I really like what I got right now, but I still got to go put a few more songs on that to finish it up. But my favorite out of all I've done, one of my favorites, is a little song called Billy the Giraffe, and there's a music video out of it on the channel.
Hell yeah.
And it's just a bunch of giraffe video footage, but it's about me befriending a giraffe named Billy, and it's sweet.
It's heartwarming.
It's
really
heartwarming.
heartwarming.
It is.
And you think it's going to go like a darker direction, but no, it's just heartwarming the entire time.
It is. I really like it.
It's a nice moment of friendship. Aren't your parents still talking about that? Like,
They
bring Billy
think
the
it's
giraffe
funny.
up
They think it's really funny. Yeah.
It is.
Not a daily basis, but it's like my mom thinks it's really cute. My dad thinks it's hilarious. Like I was at the park playing some Pokemon Go with some friends. My dad called me and he was like, "Hey, what you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm with some friends right now." He's like, "Is Billy there?" I'm like, well, you asshole.
Yes. Can you imagine them playing Pokemon Go on a fucking giraffe and shit?
That'd be epic.
Nobody fuck with you. Nobody would mess with you.
Ain't nobody telling me nothing.
That song wasn't even relevant when we last recorded.
It was
now
not.
It broke the record.
No, it's super relevant. So that's been like my main creative projects since then. But then I was about to work a new job because I've been freelancing this whole entire year, and we've talked about the struggles with freelancing a few times. But I applied to work at a program called Vista, where for an entire year I would be living off of a living allowance, which isn't a whole lot of money, but I'd be working 40 hours a week and helping put some systems in my local government to help people find jobs and stuff. And I was kind of looking for a part-time job to kind of help with finances, and I applied for this because I thought, hey, if I'm going to work, I might as well make it a year-long thing instead of like being there indefinitely, and I might as well find something where I can help people too. And literally last week I was supposed to start training on a Monday, and the entire week before that I was very just kind of stressed out about the whole thing, and I was like, man, I really don't want to do this. And I thought about it, and I've looked at the pros, I looked at the cons, and the whole reason that I even applied for the job in the first place was because for the last few months, since October really, so it's almost been a year since my family shit kind of went down and things got all crazy and wild. I never really bounced back a whole lot. Like, financially, it's been very, very rough since October. Depression's just kind of hit me a lot. Motivation has been lower than I've ever felt it before. So I was like, all right, I'm not finding any new client work. I just need to get a job. And in a way, I was applying for that job so that I could kind of get away from freelancing. Like the plan was, okay, it's not much, but it's more money than I'm getting right now. Which is close to nothing because I just haven't been finding any new clients. And I thought once I get there, then I don't have to worry about the client work. I don't have to worry about the entrepreneur shit that I've been so hype on in the past. But the closer I got, like literally the night before the training day, I was up all night. I slept for like 2 hours and I got back up and I was like, I don't think I want to do this at all.
Wow.
Yeah. So I called my mom and talked to her about it and she understood. She was still concerned about it. But like when it came down to it, I realized that I didn't want to, I've been taking a lot of the freedom that I've had for the last year for granted. Like I can make my own schedule. I can, for the most part, get up when I need to, go to bed when I need to. Family stuff aside, client work aside, all these other things that have just kind of put me down in the past year. There's been a lot of freedom that I've been taking for granted just because of all the bad shit. But having that new choice of, almost like a college situation, almost like you could go back to college or you could keep doing what you're doing, except do that better. And so I looked at those options. I was like, man, I can't just start working 40 hours. And none of those hours work towards the betterment of my career. Like that just felt insane to me. So this entire week, I felt a lot more motivated than I have since October, since that crap happened, which is good.
And you would think with with you like quitting it and not wanting to do it anymore, and how big of an investment that was, that like the idea of stopping and quitting that would make you even less motivated. Like you would think, right? Like you're already kind of in a depressive slump, and then this thing doesn't work out at all. You think you would kind of like go deeper into that, but it sounds like to me you used that in a more positive spin. It was like, all right, fuck it, I'm not doing it anymore, but I'm doing something.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything.
Well, because, I mean, we've talked about it on the podcast, but a big problem I've had over the last few months is that I've kind of used YouTube as, like, I want to be successful on YouTube. I want to be successful with the podcast and the live streams. And I've continued to work pretty hard on them. And I started having these expectations that we tell people not to have. Yeah. Right? Like, I was like, if I just do this, and if I just do this, and if I just do this, then the channel should get to the point where it's monetized. I should be able to start making money from it a lot sooner. And so why spend time finding new clients that actually pay me and just spend the time making the YouTube videos? And so it's gotten to the point where it's like, fuck, I'm behind on bills now. And so 2 months ago, I was like, I'm going to take a break from uploading and just spend time on the client work. And I also had applied for the job at that time. And that was another thing. Like, I applied for a job in April. I applied to a couple of jobs in April. And I never heard back from the movie theater, even though I called up multiple times and went there. And if I'm underqualified for a movie theater, that would be wild. I guess maybe I'm overqualified. Much going on. I don't know. Right. But then it was like I had heard back from the job that I was supposed to go do, like literally the 2 days after I applied for it at the beginning of May. But it was like, here's an interview in 2 weeks. Here's another interview 2 weeks later. It's already June. And then your training doesn't even start till July. And then they pushed back the training to August 5th, and I wouldn't have gotten paid until the 23rd of this month.
Lord. Have mercy.
So it was like, here's all this wasted time I could have just been spent finding new clients, but my depressive ass was in my bed watching TikTok videos.
I do that normally.
Avoiding my fucking responsibilities. And it's just been like, this is more of a wake-up call more than anything.
Sure. It's like, oh God, what happened, right?
Yeah.
And it's so, in particular with YouTube, is that there's no one to blame at the end of the day for any of the shortcomings of your creative content other than yourself.
Yep.
Right? There's no higher figure. There's no boss. You can't even really blame your clients either because they're like providing you money.
Right.
you know, and shit. So like all that shit hits the fan. Who's the only person you can blame in that situation? And it's always you. And that's honest and that's true to reality, but it's also like you can only take a couple of those reality checks to the head before like you start thinking worse of yourself. Like YouTube especially. And I know it's the same with like online music artists and bloggers and all that
entrepreneurship
sort of stuff.
As a creator, right?
In entrepreneurship, it is so tied to your self-worth. And you can try to make it not that and try to make it just a business thing, but like at some point in the scheme it just becomes way personal and emotional. And a lot of people aren't cut out for it like that. They would rather get a job where they have someone to blame or someone else to take the fault if things go bad, or like a backup plan. And I totally understand that. That safety and security, Jesus, would I kill for some of that safety and security right now?
Fuck, dude.
But it's like, that's not how we're wired. That's not what satisfies us. That's not creatively fulfilling. Like,
right.
Sure, we could trade spaces with somebody working a reliable job, but then we'd be just as miserable because we couldn't create the shit we wanted to. So like, you're miserable if you 100%. Do it, and you're miserable if you don't. Like, there's no winning from that.
What was like?
I guess I'm just impressed on your end that you've managed to sort of keep it together a little bit through the past couple of months.
No, I appreciate it, man. It's been rough. Like, when I decided to go on this kind of path, I guess about 2 years ago, drop out of college, kind of do my own thing. I thought I was prepared for everything. Like, I thought, okay, money's going to be really hard, but I just got to work hard. Like, I just thought in my mind, I was like, I've been working hard my entire life. I just got to keep working hard and shit's going to happen. What I didn't realize was that not only did I have to work hard and keep pushing and have those kind of problems with, I don't have a sleep schedule. I'm not eating right. I'm not exercising right because I'm working all the time. But also, life might also fuck you in the ass while you're doing all this. And your family will just fall apart. And all of a sudden, you have to pay a lot of money to something that you didn't expect to ever have to pay for. And all of a sudden, like just a bunch of different things you never thought you'd have to deal with, along top the sacrifices you're already making.
Sure. And you definitely got dealt
and it's
an unlucky deal of hands, like, as the shit was going down in the first place. Like, it's not a good time to be a college dropout and a YouTuber when your family's collapsing around you. Like,
it's
being a music professor might not have been fun, but it would have been real handy if you like had that security and money coming in.
Possibly,
like,
right?
Yeah, but you still would have been miserable later down
but
the
even
road.
Then, yeah. But
I'm
then it was
saying,
like,
in that moment especially, you feel real down on yourself.
Definitely. And it was like to the point where, okay, I got to deal with this, plus I got to work really hard. Now I don't have time to do my own videos. And so for like 2 months, in October and November, I just didn't put anything out because I just couldn't work on it. But anyways, kind of wrapping all this up, the night before I was supposed to go into training, I put a post in that Roberto Blake entrepreneurship group, and just kind of explain my position with the job and what I was doing and everything kind of happening. And one of the admins on there made a video, like a 10-minute video, like responding directly to me. And she was talking about how like she was living in Puerto Rico when Hurricane Katrina happened. Wow. And this was like months after she started her entrepreneurship path. And then she moved to New York and her grandma got cancer. And it was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. So, I very much felt like I was kind of alone in this situation, and realizing that anybody that kind of goes down this path of entrepreneurship, of a YouTuber, of a content creator, like, hardships happen along with the sacrifices you have to make, and it's very hard to get through it, but you just got to keep pushing, because if you don't, like, nobody's going to do it for you.
Right. Right. You got a point.
Yeah. So I've gained back. I guess I've gained some resilience through that. And the hardest thing was just kind of losing my motivation, because even though I felt depression, I think my entire life, I've always just kind of held on to some motivation. Like I've always just kind of gotten through things. And this particular year, it was just like, oh, you used all your motivation, boy. I don't know where you're getting anymore.
It all wrapped up. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
There's nothing left in there. Jeez.
But I'm getting some of it back. Doing the hiatus of creating anything too, that fucked it up even more.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Because it was like, okay, now I have all this time to work, but I'm not even spending it to work. I'm just kind of dicking around. So I've started recording videos again. I've started doing some side projects, and I've got a lot of different ideas that I want to kind of throw out in the world in 2020. A lot of side channels and interesting, weird things that I haven't really talked about to a whole lot of people. I'm going to kind of keep a lot of it to myself until it actually happens. But
fair enough.
Yeah, that way I'm not promising something and then it not happen. But
fair enough.
Yeah, the first step was just kind of coming back to this podcast, coming back to the gaming channel, and then Your Everyday Nerd, and kind of just working on that kind of stuff slowly but surely, and getting that stuff back out sometime between August, September, and October. And then like November, December onwards, I'm going to like try to start putting out some new and different shit.
Be fun. Be fun to watch.
I agree. I'm excited.
Excited as always, so.
I think that's all I got.
Okay.
The channel is growing still, which is really weird because it's all on these fucking Final Destination videos from like a year and a half ago now.
Oh yeah.
But like they're still doing well. Like the Final Destination 5 video now has over 7,000 views. And it's gained like 3,000 of that in the last month, and I've gotten like 20 subscribers from it on its own.
Shit.
And I'm getting comments like, "Are you gonna make any more recaps?" I'm like, "No."
No.
But on the plus side, the watch time's going up, so we're closer to that 4,000. Not super close. I still gotta get like a 1,500, but like that's a lot closer I've ever been, which is cool.
There you go. It's in reach.
Yeah. For sure.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Been your 4 months, half a year on YouTube, roughly, TM.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
TM. It didn't sound as nice and marketable if it's that long.
It's the YouTube Quarterly Report. Trademark.
YouTube Quarterly Report by Susan Wojcicki. Did you know that we brought annotations back for no reason? You're welcome. Like, thanks, Susan. I really needed an email telling me that. Really appreciate that. Some people would actually probably be happy if they got that email. Like, annotations are back. I'm like, I'm glad they're gone. I never cared.
No more. I'm done.
So glad those things are gone. End screens are a godsend to me and everybody else who uses them. Okay, so, geez.
It's hard to start.
We're going all the way back to...
Fuck do I start?
To March and April.
May.
April.
Because we talked about April.
April had the April Jules Day video, and I thought that was pretty epic, indeed. Yeah. So a lot of my time, as of recent, has not necessarily been 100% on Back to the Video Games and Blue Couch Productions specifically, but rather everywhere else in the ecosystem of what I do, time has been put into that. So. Right. Things like, there's now a Blue Couch Productions website. Fun fact, bluecouchproductions.weebly.com. There's a Lions Honor Gaming website now, lionshonorgaming.weebly.com. They've been updated over the past couple of months and even recently. And I've tried to include a lot of different things from there so that if you don't want to watch me on YouTube or on Twitter, there's at least a website to go to. And hey, if you're some old fogey and don't like anything like that, a website at least looks somewhat professional. So, hey, there's that. Monthly Battle League website is also there. So I own 3 total, pretty much. Hoping not to do any more, but we'll see. Aden on Anchor, last time we talked was around like episode 9 or 10, and has since passed the 20 episode mark. We just passed 20 not too long ago. So pretty much Aden on Anchor got me through any time I actually was craving to do another YouTube podcast again, because I've been wanting to do this shit for a while.
For sure.
But any time I couldn't, I was like, oh wait, I have a personal podcast where I can talk about fucking anything. Like, isn't this cool? So that was definitely my safety net, where I kind of experimented with YouTube stuff, Pokemon stuff, reviewing Disney movies, talking about Spider-Man movies, and of course, like, probably the biggest theme of more than anything is just like, oh yeah, I'm still depressed and not in college. So, you know, like, anytime there's something to talk about with that, Aden on Anchor is usually the first place to hear it, because I don't typically put it on YouTube anymore, or even do update videos. I haven't done an update video in like 7 months or something crazy like that. It's been a while.
Get that.
So Aden on Anchor's doing well. Monthly Battle League, since we last recorded season 3, like all of season 3 happened. So
it did.
Yeah.
It did. It was wild.
All the coaches, and then a couple dropped out, and then we had to get like Jay and Parker in there, and Zach was already in it. So it was this big, like, fucking, around week 4 or 5, this big mad dash to get everybody in. And then battles and logos and videos and all sorts of shit. Thankfully, by the time you're hearing this podcast, it's winding down a good bit. The awards video is finally out. The Monthly Battle League recap should all be out. I know week 1 and 2 are out already. So there's that. I basically like recap each week, and you see some replays in the background. They're shorter videos, but better videos, IMO.
They're good.
The more longer
they're really good.
ones. Yeah.
I've been enjoying them.
So they're all rendering and shit. Monthly Battle League should be done by the end of August for season 3, and then by the time season 4 rolls around, I have no idea what the fuck I'm gonna do. Because Monthly Battle League is such an anomaly in everything. Where like, I could probably still do it on the main channel if I just had the like will to do it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like it would clutter up too much in the summer months, but like for the rest of the time it'd be perfectly fine on there. So
a lot of it is very specific to like your community.
Very specific to my community, only in 2 or 3 months out of the year. And then it's just a mad dash to finish all of it, and then wait another year, and then whatever. But that just keeps me sane to like, okay, even though I spent an ungodly amount of time on each season, at least now it's done, and people can go back to it if they want, and then next year we try to do it even bigger and better. So that's always a thing that's fun. Season 3 wrapped up and finished. Videos are finishing. Lions Honor Gaming. Yoshi finally finished today.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Dope.
That took a year.
That's wild.
That took a year.
We are at our year anniversary, too.
Yeah, not to record, but a year to get it all out. Yeah, Lions Honor Gaming's a year old now. That's crazy. We're at 100 and... There's 140 videos, but not all of them are uploaded because the next series on there is already uploaded.
Right.
But it's not public yet, so there's that. I've already announced it on my Discord. It's the Worldwide Meme Kirby series with me and him.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorites on Worldwide Meme, and now it's going to like have an actual audience on LHG, so that'll be fun.
Which is pretty dope.
And then after that, I think the Mario Odyssey series is the last Worldwide Meme thing to be on LHG, and then we're like out of the catalog, so I've done really good at like getting all that shit migrated over, because Ethan definitely wasn't going to use any of it, so having it on Lions Honor Gaming for like days where I can't upload, or getting a variety of games to the channel, it's been a nice little help in a pinch, I'd say, for sure.
For sure, yeah.
So then with Lions Honor Gaming stuff, back to the video games, had a change of thumbnails and descriptions. I did on Blue Couch Productions specifically, not a lot of stuff, but still stuff. The anniversary video, 3 years of Blue Couch Productions, Jesus.
You put a few videos out since
I did.
Time. Yeah.
I did.
Some bangers, IMO.
I'm going to start with the 3-year anniversary one, because it was just like, usually if it's an anniversary video on the channel, it's all kind of like It's kind of serious. It's kind of retrospective. It's like a look back. It's like, wow, look how crazy this year was. Whereas the 3-year anniversary video was a shit post. A 10-minute shit post with a kind of clickbaity title, and then you click on the video, and it's just Ethan making noodles for 10 minutes.
It's great, honestly.
Really funny video of Ethan making 2 noodles for 10 minutes, but still, what you see is what you get on that front. I've done 3 episodes of Back to the Video Games. The Starlink one, which was kind of a return back to the show. Then the Kirby one, which was probably the biggest episode to do, period, out of all of them. That took the most time to film, the most time to edit, render, upload, the whole thing. I've spent more time on that Kirby episode than I think any particular episode of the show.
Wow.
And it's not even the longest. Smash one's the longest, but I had more stuff to cut out of the Kirby one, so that altogether took longer.
Right.
And then for my 400th video, I did another episode of Back to the Video Games, the top 10 Sinnoh Pokemon.
Yeah.
I usually don't do top 10s like that unless it's for a big milestone, and I hadn't done one in over a year, so brought that back.
That's another good.
I think so. I kind of wish the Kirby one did a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because I put so much fucking time into that, but like rewatching it recently was kind of a thing where like, okay, maybe this wasn't the big magnum opus I thought it was. It's kind of like all over the place and a little bloated in a couple areas, but like still a really good episode.
Right.
The top 10 Sinnoh Pokemon video is great as well. I like that one a lot. Starlink is a bit more divisive, but I felt like I'd argued a couple of good points in that I felt like was okay. So
I think what's been really cool about seeing you do Back to the Video Games is I feel like every episode is better than the last one almost. Like there are moments where it's like, oh, this part of the last episode was funnier, or this part was a little bit better, but I feel like overall, like the show is definitely like improving every episode.
I feel like it is. I may not like enjoy every episode just as much.
Right.
Like, I don't know if I'd put 3 over 2 or 7 over 6 or like stuff like that. Like there's a few that I prefer, at least in the creation process. But no, I definitely think there's been an improvement in stuff. And again, I just like trying new things with that show a lot of the time. I don't rush those. I don't fucking have to have a topic like immediately. A lot of it is just very spur of the moment recording and getting it, and then kind of like using that idea and editing it and doing different things every time to like make it more fun for me.
Definitely.
So if there's a particular joke I really want to do, or a segment I want to edit a certain way, or I want to do a top 10 list or whatever, I'm allowed to do that. It's just been kind of a very freeing show in general. I can do a variety of different shit, but in an actual format this time. So you could watch all of them back to back if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
And I've still kept myself under that 30-minute limit rule, so I'm proud to not have gone over 30 minutes yet. We'll see.
I thank you for that.
Yeah, I try to. There's a lot of cutting that goes into those episodes, so I'm glad I haven't reached 30 minutes. And then like, this wasn't something I was gonna do, but this is kind of a later thing. Originally, it was just gonna be one Back to the Video Games every week, but obviously they weren't coming out once a week, and there were long gaps in between episodes. But I still needed content for the channel, so the idea kind of came of, what if I do like productions videos as like smaller little stopgaps? So even though Back to the Video Games isn't coming out for another 2 weeks, I can put out a smaller Blue Couch Productions video to kind of hold people over.
Right.
And so I've done 4 of those since we last got on. All the MCU movies ranked, which is it sounds like you kind of know what the video is until you watch it, and then it's like, oh, this is
wild. The
ranking is just a background piece to the nonsense happening in front of the camera.
It is wild, to say the least.
There's a couple of shots that I'm like, should I have filmed that? I don't know.
I think you're in your underwear at one point.
Yeah, I'm in my underwear at one point. I'm changing pants. I like spit all over the desk.
Just randomly.
Spit gum on the floor.
Trash bag.
Bright Cheez-Its. I'm in a trash bag. Like, lots of dumb shit in that. But really fun. And the ranking part of it is also good. But it's not like why you watch the video. The 3-year anniversary video, like I mentioned, is a shit post, but a fun one. The Pokemon Direct reaction following Sword and Shield hype. There's another trailer that I could react to, but I'm not going to. And then finally, like, the biggest surprise since we last recorded, this Kitty Bobo video.
Yeah.
Was... I'd heard of the pilot before, and how it wasn't a show, and the pilot's been on YouTube for, like, the longest time now. And I thought, hey, I should react to it. It's just, like, a small little video in between shit. And I do. And it, like, does fine the first day, like, 10 or so views, and then it grows to 20, and then 30, and then 40 and 50, and then I put it on my homepage, just like the new upload for visitors or whatever. And it grows and grows and grows and grows. It's at 193 right now. It has not stopped growing. There has not been a plateau since the time I released that video 3 months ago to now.
Yeah, it's one of those topics
200.
where it's like, oh, okay, people want this.
Yeah. I felt like I did a Scooby-Doo recap type situation where it's like, oh, okay, this hit a nerve. Like, people really want Kitty Bobo stuff, even if they can't get it anywhere else. And the video itself is, like, not one of my favorites at all. It's a typical reaction style video. Like, nothing special in it. There's a white bread cameo thing, and that kind of starts that little arc or whatever. But aside from that, like, in the opening's pretty funny because it's me taking antidepressants. Aside from that, the rest of the video is just kind of like normal shit. But I kept it at 10 minutes. I had an okay thumbnail and just apparently did really well in tags because 193, like, that's my best upload of the year by far. Number 2 being episode 1 of Back to the Video Games at 97. So.
Well, like, we've talked about going niche on the channel a lot, and it's like going like obscure. Like, finding really obscure shit that not a whole lot of people are talking about, like, those will get you, like, a few hundred, few thousand views easily.
They're easy, especially if not a lot of people have covered them before.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if more people had covered it, my video definitely wouldn't have been a thing, because the quality definitely isn't there. But because not a lot of people covered it, hey, this kind of okay video is fine. Sure, why not? But yeah, it's my biggest viewed video ever since the fucking Shovel Knight video.
Oh, wow.
Which one is it? Yeah, the Amazon Fire TV, which is almost at 300. Jesus. Let's not talk about that thing anymore. But yeah, like, that's the thing. In total, for 2019, I've released 12 videos.
Wow.
12 videos total.
How do you feel about that? Because this is going from, like, a bunch of, like, Let's Play parts and live streams to 12. How are you feeling about that?
It's funny, too, because, like, you see the 3-year anniversary videos, like, on the first row.
Yeah.
It takes you maybe, like, 3 seconds to scroll down and see the 2-year anniversary video.
Holy shit.
Like, they're on the same page, pretty much. You don't even have to go that far. Like, once you pass all the Let's Play shit, it's, like, right there. So, yeah, on the one hand, like, I liked making a lot of stuff. It looks nicer when you have a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah.
Clearly, there's a part of me that wants, like, a video every week, like I promised, or even a lot of smaller videos every day to, like, hold that tide over. On the other hand, like, all these videos have 20 views or more. And all of these videos I'm proud of.
That's the big one, right?
Maybe not the April Fool's Day video.
That's good. I'm not that one for you.
Know, whatever. That's a freebie. Anyway.
Right.
All 12 of these videos have 20 or more views. All 12 of these videos I'm personally proud of. All 12 of these videos are probably some of the best stuff I've ever put out in the history of the channel. And it's all, like, back-to-back shit. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it may not be a once a week back to the video games. And yeah, the smaller videos may not come out as often as they need to, but when they do well. And that makes me happy from a quality perspective, from a content creator perspective of, I'm not doing as much as I used to, but everything's getting seen now. And everything that I'm making satisfies me way more than when I did 30 Blue Couch Plays, 30 Questions on the Couch, 30 vlog videos, and only one productions video that I was really proud of for that month. there's just a lot less filler in general, you know.
Yeah.
I'll call it what it is. It's YouTube filler for sure. And that's the one benefit to having all 30 of these side projects is like, yeah, I could have put monthly Battle League shit on here, and I could have put Lions Honor Gaming and the personal podcast and like all sorts of stuff here if I wanted to fill those gaps. But man, when you see like those 12 videos and looking back on them and just that they're all right there, it makes me feel good personally. And I think that's what matters more than anything. It's like that shit makes me feel so good. Even though we're halfway through the year and they've only done 12 videos, I love each and every one of them.
Well, we were talking off camera probably about a month ago, and you were telling me how like YouTube is basically the fast food of content. Mm-hmm. And that really hit something in me because it hit me hard. I was like, fuck, wow. You're right. And I was thinking about it, in a negative way for a little while. Like, sure. I was getting to the point where it was like, okay, like, because you said something like that, and after I'd, like, been thinking about some of the Your Everyday Nerd episodes that have come out and how I'm not particularly, like, proud of them, like, they're not bad, but I'm not proud of them, it got me thinking, and it's like, going forward, I'm going to be spending more time on each individual episode, and I'm going Monday through Friday instead of every day. Mm-hmm. Like, that's going to be the new schedule. And I'm not doing everything on Your Everyday Nerd like I had originally planned on. But you had basically said that it was like YouTube was like fast food. And what we've both done in a way is gotten rid of a lot of that fast food on our channels.
More of like we put it on other shit.
Right.
So like other people can still watch, but it's not on the main channels. I get you.
But here's the wild thing. I was thinking about it being a negative, and I was like, man, I'd rather be creating gourmet food instead of fast food. Mm-hmm. But, like, what if we become a McDonald's? Mm-hmm. We fucking make quality fast food and we put it everywhere.
Sure.
So, like, the way I see it is like, okay, cool. I have Your Everyday Nerd. You have Back to the Video Games. You have Blue Couch Productions, right? And we're putting a lot of effort into those. But then we have our other franchise, Lions Honor Gaming. And we have the another YouTube podcast. And there's a lot of other stuff that I want to create and a lot of stuff that I want to talk about that I originally was going to talk about here on Your Everyday Nerd. But instead of doing that, I'm just going to be putting it on different channels. And I'm just going to be different, like trying all these different things. Because I still think there's, we've talked about quality and quantity and that kind of thing. And
it's like that, that episode will never die. Like
it's
that episode
still important to have quantity. It's still important to have quality, but it's
How
like
was that episode like 5, like episode 6, like what?
Like very early, because it's such a common YouTube thing,
and it's so still relevant even now.
Right, but it's like cool. Okay, I have my McDonald's, which is Your Everyday Nerd, but I can make a Taco Bell about this type of movies. It can just be this one genre of movies, and I talk about one of them like once a week. And that's that place, and they're not that hard to make, but they're like, a certain quality. It's got a certain quantity going on to it. That's the Taco Bell, right? Like, we have Lions Honor Gaming, which is like a solid, I was trying to think of a bad restaurant that's kind of okay, but I can't think of it anyways.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I mean, but it's like Lions Honor Gaming has its very specific thing. We do it every day, or we're doing it every day. We'll eventually, LOL, right. But it's like, yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing to have that quantity, but at the end of the day, we have to be proud of how it all looks.
Sure.
And I'm a lot more proud of having Lions Honor Gaming as its separate entity. And I'm proud to see all the videos we've done on that channel. But if you were to take all those videos and put them on the Your Everyday Nerd channel, I'd be upset.
Yeah, I would too.
Even if it was daily uploads, it would look disgusting and I would be upset. So, yeah. Sorry for that.
And I understand that, like, as an approach of when you're just starting out, of like, I have one channel, I want to try like 30 different things, I want to see what sticks. Go ahead. Like, fine. Do it on one channel. I think me and Zach have gotten to the point now where, like, we kind of know what works for our audience and shit, and we kind of know, like, what we want to do. but we still like fucking creating and trying
still
new
like
shit.
doing experimenting, yeah.
Yeah, we still like experimenting shit, but I think we've gotten to the point now where like I can't do it on Blue Couch Productions anymore.
Right.
Despite how convenient that would be, and trust me, switching back and forth between 30 channels, all of which are on the new YouTube Creator Studio, and I gotta fucking go on the setting. It's not
real.
Fun. It is not fun. That's a whole nother rant for another day. Still, I'm happier because, again, seeing those 12 videos on Blue Couch Productions, I'm glad it's those 12, and it's not something else.
And we can still do that experimentation. Because I think one of the big reasons I've been like depressed over the past year is I haven't been experimenting. You know, I figured out Your Everyday Nerd and I just kind of started doing that. And I'm happy with it, but I want to start doing more experimenting again like I used to. But having those different avenues I think is very important. Just for like the growth of the channels, the success of the channels, and all that kind of stuff.
True. I agree.
Sorry for the tangent.
Oh no, I think I was wrapping up there anyway. I didn't have too much else to add, other than Aden also has a comedy album.
Yeah, boy, I was about to say.
The Mexican Revolution of 1910. You think, wow, what a weird title. Go listen to it. It's on SoundCloud. You can find them under Blue Couch Productions or The Mexican Revolution of 1910. 10-hole bangers, 10-hole tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Give them a listen.
They are, as the kids say, wildin'.
Yeah. Anal currently has the most views. So if you're wondering which track to start with, the one with anal on the front might be. But listen to the whole album too.
Spelled A-N-A-L.
It works as a cohesive experience. But if you just want to pick like whatever sounds funny to you, click that as well. Like do whatever you gotta do. It's fun. I've had a lot of fun kind of learning that game of being like, oh man, everybody else seems to have a lot of fun doing this. What if I tried doing this? And each of these 10 songs were different experiments and risk of like, is this going to be funny? Is this going to sound good? How do I mix this? How do I upload it? I didn't even have a SoundCloud for a while.
Right.
But it's a new avenue for me and a fun one as well. Like one that probably will not go anywhere and I'm not going to like actively pursue. But one that,
That's a mood.
But one that if, like, I'm bored in, like, 3 months from now and I have nothing to do, I'll go ahead and fucking do a comedy album. Why not? Sure. It's just a fun way to express yourself with music and taking all the musical knowledge and taste and biases you have and turning it into kind of its own unique new thing. Yeah. It's also really fun to do with friends. So if you, like, have friends who are, like, would listen to it, like, fucking give that a try because it's a wild when you have other people listening to your weird ass work.
That's the biggest part that's made it fun for me because it's like I could have been doing this kind of shit for the last few years, but I don't know who would have fucking listened to it.
Right.
But it's like we have like a very small circle of friends that do the same thing, and then we all get into a call and we fucking listen to it with each other, and it's really fun. It's a really fun night.
It's just a fun little like creative thing where like there's not a whole lot of stakes or pressure or anything into it. It's just like, oh fucking I made a song, listen to it, whatever.
Yeah.
And even tried a little bit more serious stuff on the album too. So like there's a good bit of shit that could go with it in the future, and I don't know. I'm just waiting for inspiration, I suppose. So we'll see. But yeah, I think
cool.
I think that's it. Still depressed. Still on antidepressants. Still looking for shit to do. Keep my mind active at the very least. But having all these projects is definitely giving me the avenue to work on something. It's like I could be in bed for 2 weeks, but I also know Monthly Badly Recap Week 8 needs editing. So that got me up. Got me working on something. And the fact that we're back on the YouTube podcast just kind of like checks another box in my head of where I feel better now of like, okay, everything's kind of getting done again. Good.
It's funny because like for a long time we were talking about how we have all this shit to do. How are we going to get it all done? And then we started taking things away and we're like, we're so depressed. What do we do now?
Yeah. What do we do now? I don't know. Do more shit, I guess. Do more shit.
It's an answer.
That's pretty much all I had for my 4 months or so. I'm sure I forgot something in there, but I wanted to hit the major highlights of shit.
For sure.
So yeah.
Cool. Well, is it time to go into that main topic, boy?
Yeah, we're at the 50-minute mark, which means we got to talk about our top 50 YouTubers. Segue.
Hey.
And this is a ranked list of the top 50 YouTubers of all time. Not of this year, not of last year, not of a month. All time, since the platform started all the way back in 2006 to 2019. When are we filming this? August 11th.
Yes.
At that point in time, what are the best YouTubers ever to be on the platform? Well, I came up with 50. Zach came up with 50. We got to kind of combine list and rank them and give you guys sort of a definitive top 50 YouTubers of all time list by the end of this episode. I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know how long it's going to take.
We didn't talk much about how this is going to go down. We just said we want to do it. So
what rules we're going to decide, any of it. You will have like a little image at the end of the end of the podcast or a Twitter post or something, so you can look at it.
The official listing, the official ranking, and I'll go ahead and put both of the lists that we both came up with beforehand as just kind of here's our favorite people or here's our top individually, and then we'll have the official list in the description via a Twitter post probably, and it'll be like an image. I'll like Photoshop it and make it look epic so that hopefully it goes viral or some shit. I don't know.
Make it look pretty, yeah.
I want to
But I encourage you not to look at it right away and to listen to the process, because I'm sure a lot of this shit is not going to make sense if you just go look at the photo.
Right.
You kind of have to get the reasoning behind a lot of our dumbass decisions. That being said, I will go ahead and give the giant disclaimer of this list is going to be biased as hell.
Yeah, for sure.
Because me and Zach, granted, we do have different tastes, but our two tastes do not cover the entire platform of YouTube, and I'm sure we're going to miss everybody. So, question of the day, who would you add to this list? Who did we forget?
Yes.
Let us know. I'll ask it again at the end of the episode, but that's sort of the main question and all that sort of fun stuff. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get started.
Yeah.
Let's get started.
So, speaking on that bias, we both picked YouTubers that we personally enjoy. We probably both picked YouTubers that are fairly popular or have a certain amount of relevance.
Sure.
We both probably picked YouTubers that are have kind of a YouTube legacy. They've been imported on the platform for many years, and so that means like this list is not going in any kind of order like based on subscribers or any of that kind of stuff. It's going to be pretty much subjective based on those kind of
those
factors.
And when it comes down to like the ranking part specifically of like what puts one channel over the other, who knows?
Oh yeah, I don't know how
who knows how we're gonna decide.
I have no idea
any of that. And there's gonna be arguing, discussing, bitching, complaining, agreeing, perhaps, all sorts of stuff. But I guess the first thing that we gotta do is just to kind of like go over people in our list and like simply a yes or no of like, do they belong here or do they not? Not even talking about the number. Like
Right.
going through both of our lists and being like, do we think they should be on this list or not? Because I feel like after we do that, we can kind of like narrow it down and sort of do all the ranking stuff. But right now we have like 100 channels that we got to get through to even like make the 50 list.
For sure. Okay.
So we starting with your list, my list, back and forth.
Let's go back and forth. Let's do back and forth.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So the first one I got is Alex Jones. All right. Now the joke one is out of the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just saw him on Twitter earlier and I was like, okay.
Number one, baby.
No, my first one is I got these in order by alphabetical order for the most part, but not completely. So my first one is Anna Akana.
I do not know who she is.
I'll pull up YouTube. I'll pull up the channels while we're doing this, and we can talk like stats and shit.
I know you did a Your Everyday Nerd about a short she did.
So Anna Akana is a YouTuber with 2.5 million subscribers. She started in 2011, and she has been one of the most prolific female YouTubers on the platform since then.
Okay.
She started with like A lot of different skits, most of them being comedic, some music stuff. She dated Ray Liam Johnson for a couple of years. They did a podcast together. The podcast got deleted because they broke up. But she started doing these skit / self-help videos a few years ago, and that's kind of been her niche throughout the entire like past 5 years. And they're all usually about 5 minutes long or less. They have some animation stuff in it. They do all like these kind of funny things. And she's just like one of my favorite creators on here. But she also just put out a music album. She's got a couple music videos now. She did an entire stop motion animation thing a couple years ago. Or not a couple years, 6 months ago. And so I think she deserves to be on the list.
I just checked through mine, and I have one girl.
I was thinking about that, and I went and like actively sought out like a couple of females that I've like watched.
I'm glad you did,
because there was a couple that I automatically put on here, and I was like, okay, cool, I got 2. But I think I got about 5 or 6 that I've watched in the past past years.
Yeah, I'm telling you already, this list is biased. So.
Yeah.
Don't blame me. As for a yes or no on her particular, do you think like all time like net for net, Hannah kind of got it and put on the list?
I would think all time she definitely deserves to be on the list. I don't think this is. I mean, part of this is biased, but I don't think the entire thing is biased. I think objectively, like she has worked with so many big creators and she's done so many big things over the past 10 years that she would deserve to be on it.
Okay. I'll agree with you then for now.
Cool.
We might have to do some cuts later.
We might have to, for sure.
Yeah, I'll agree with you for now and say that I probably agree with you. Okay. Cool. So my first is taking you back to the past to play some shitty games that suck ass. I'm going Cinemassacre for my first pick. Simply because...
I forgot about him.
I did. Yeah. Angry Video Game Nerd was a big deal for a long time. If you were anywhere into gaming whatsoever in 2006, 2007, 8, 9, 10, whatever, you know the Angry Video Game Nerd, and you know their channel, Cinemassacre in particular. And the weird thing is, like, neither of them have stopped. There are still new episodes coming out. There is still movie reviews going out. That's kind of what they're known for. They're like movie people first. But, like, their impact on the gaming stuff alone is just like worth being on here, in my opinion. When we're talking about like highly produced video game shows, that doesn't start until Angry Video Game Nerd, in my opinion. The production value is insane. James himself as a human being is pretty interesting to watch through, and just the amount of content they've made. Kind of the YouTube veteran. I don't know how many subs they're at, but I could tell you real quick. Somewhere in the ballpark of millions. 3 million. Been around for a long ass time.
2006. They started on their own website.
On their own website, yeah. So like they're kind of pioneers in a lot of ways. So I'm kind of throwing this one out to the old school. I still watch them on a daily basis a lot of the time. They got good shit all around. If you're into movies, if you're into games, whatever. But the Angry Video Game Nerd stuff is what gets them on the list. IMO. If we're talking impact, that's who I'm going with.
I mean, I agree. I can't believe I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I've never been, like, the biggest Angry Video Game Nerd fan. I've never really watched a whole lot of his content. But, first off, he's a genuinely good dude. He's still relevant. He's still putting out, like, daily content. They're still getting really good views for a channel as old as they are. Like, I 100% agree. Like, yeah, he deserves to be on the list.
All right, up to you. We'll kind of speed things up as we go along, by the way. We're not going to spend this long on each person. That'd be all here all day.
For sure. So my next one is Austin McConnell.
Ooh, I've heard the name before. You'll have to remind me.
He's at 900,000 subscribers. Channel started in 2007, but he didn't really start uploading until, I want to say 2 years ago. Well, he's been uploading for 6 years, but his current form of videos started in 2 years. 2 years ago. He went viral off of a video about parachuting. The video is called "What to Do If Your Parachute Fails," and it's like a 4-minute animation, like funny thing, but also like very informative. He's really well known for making a movie that wasn't good, and he's really talked about.
Oh yeah, that video. Jesus.
Yeah, he's really talked about kind of his history behind that movie and why he failed and going forward as a filmmaker. And he's made like some of the most thoughtful, some of them are educational, some of them are opinion pieces, but either or, they're very thoughtful videos. And I think a lot of this is personal bias, but I think he's gonna grow a lot more in the future.
I think this is one of them where like the content that they have kind of justifies them on here, and not so much like the reach and clout and impact.
Yeah.
Because like they're still going and they're still like new and they're continuing to grow, but like simply based on the amount of content he has now, how many really good insightful videos there are, that alone I think kind of puts it on there. I didn't think of him at all, but I love his shit all the time. So yes,
watch everything he puts out. So yeah.
Are you adding these to the spreadsheet? You are.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Next up, for me, we'll do another gaming one, and then I'll change it up a little bit. My main boy, Jontron, is my next one.
Yeah, he's on mine too.
Yeah. Again, like, even if you're not a video game dude, the production value, the humor, the personality, and even just if you've seen his later work, Jesus, the flex tape video alone is just like, oh. But there's also like a legacy attached to that. There's also like normal booths. There's all these things where you follow John in his career and see how everything he touches like turns into something incredible and good. Had a couple of controversies over the years, obviously, but in terms of like reach, one of the biggest. In terms of impact, one of the biggest. And if you're, you don't even have to be like a big video game guy to like him.
His newest shit is gaming related.
So much stuff, and it's all fantastic. Yes, for me.
Yeah, I'd agree. Just for some background, he's got 5.5 million subs. Started around 8 to 10 years ago. Has been putting out. He's very infamous for the not putting out a video for a few months and then just coming back out of nowhere and putting out a video. But here lately, he's got like an entire production team. He's putting out content at least once a month, sometimes twice a month. Like his past year of content, some of the best shit he's ever done. The flex tape video has like 43 million views alone.
I concur.
So yeah, I 100% agree. He should be on the list.
Okay.
My next one is Mr. Bill Wirtz.
Yeah, you knew I had him on mine. I asked you who it was. So
I was like, yeah, I have him on my list.
Keep it short.
For sure.
Everybody knows Bill Wirtz.
For sure. Like, Bill Wirtz, music guy. Does a lot of weird music, short videos. Been around for like 10 years. 3.3 million subs. You'll know him well for his History of Japan video and his History of the Entire World, I Guess video. Boasting a 7 million and a 49 million views piece.
Damn.
Still, like, I feel like some people subscribing to him and shit still might be a little bit niche. People might not know him by name as much, but I feel like most people who watch YouTube on a regular basis have seen both of those history videos and love them.
They're good. They're good. On its own, like, the content is just, like, one of a kind.
It's original. Super original. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I agree. I concur. Next up, bit of a mean man, bit of a music boy. One of the only music channels I watch. Probably saw this one coming. The Needle Drop.
Yep.
Is my next one. And this has a lot of reasons behind it. I'll keep it short here because I think Zach has them on there as well. Been doing this for an incredibly long time.
10 years.
Reviewing albums. In front of a camera, in front of a wall, with a couple of like special effects and a couple of characters along the way. But for the most part, like, really simple, really down to earth. But just has the backlog just has the personality, just has the opinions, and when he's not doing any of the music review shit, he's making some of the best shitpost and meme content of all time. I wanted to put his meme channel on here, but it doesn't exist anymore. That is the plan. But I guess the needle drop itself will have to suffice. Really good music opinions, just kind of an icon in that field. And really just going to show that, like, sometimes the simplest videos are the best. Is like, dude gets like 1 million views on videos that visually are just like, not a whole lot going on, but you're there for like him and the opinion and the conversation. Great channel.
Right. A lot of the channels that we're going to be talking about are going to be more comedy based, going to be more like, yeah, okay, this is your classic YouTuber, but there's so much content on YouTube that we're going to be getting into educational stuff. We're going to be getting into review stuff. And with the needle drop, Anthony Fantano, like, all of his videos, for the most part on his main channel, are very just informative. Here's my opinion. But like you said, like, he's very well spoken. He's very well written. Like, I've never heard somebody talk about music the way this man does, and I was a music major in college. So
even if I don't know what he's talking about or even agree, like,
right,
the conversation aspect alone is just huge.
Yeah, and even then, like, he has a second channel called Fantano where he's been doing it for the last 2 years. And those are probably some of my favorite videos, because you don't need to listen to the album to enjoy the video.
Love him.
So, yeah, I agree. He's got the legacy. He's got the numbers.
The numbers. Not all these are going to be big boys, trust me. I'm just trying to get the obvious boys.
For sure.
Like, you know. All right, what's next for you?
Boogie2988.
I don't have him on mine, believe it or not, but I'm glad you brought him up. Yeah.
So I love Boogie mostly for his live streams, but he has been on YouTube much longer. 4.5 million subs currently. He's been on here probably 10 years as well. 12 years even. You'll know this guy mainly for his Francis videos. Just a big, heavy-set dude wanting his Mountain Dew and his World of Warcraft servers. A lot of people love those type of videos, but personally, I found him through his rambling series where he talks about his life. And I mean, this dude was a big guy, and he's lost a lot of weight over the last couple of years. He's gone through a lot of life changes, and it's just been really almost cathartic to kind of hear this man talk about his life and get his shit together. And also, he's a gamer, and also he does streams, and also he's funny. And I think everybody knows him.
I do.
It's
glad you brought him up. Yes, for me.
Cool.
So I'm kind of changing up genres, keeping it interesting. I knew I wanted to get something from the animator world, and I did like one for the old school and one for the new school.
Cool.
And the new school one is the one I'm going to talk about here. Kind of one channel to represent the Storytime animator crew. I don't know if this one's necessarily your favorite, but it's mine. Out of all of them, I kind of summed it up into this one channel here. I went with Aden Animations.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And her in particular, even though she's not like the originator, that probably would be like Domix, or even the biggest. That one would probably be odd ones out. Personally, I find the quality of her work to be just a little bit better and nicer to look at, for one. And also, the quality of topics and things discussed on there, I think, are a bit better. Where it's like, yes, there's stories time stuff. There's the usual random stuff. There's also, though, like, really, really good videos of, like, depression and anxiety and just awful, awful shit. And hearing it from her perspective and how she draws some of these things is just incredible. And even recently, she started, like, pivoting a little bit into advice stuff. Like, the relationships video in particular is just a lot of really good advice about relationships, whether they're toxic or with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. There's a really good self-improvement video. So it's not just the usual, like, story time stuff, which it is there, granted. But it's those deeper videos. It's the quality of animation. It's her personality. the why I don't have a face reveal video in particular, that was the reason I'm putting her here. It's just like, good lord, some of the deeper stuff is just outstanding. But I don't know what about you, Zach, if you even watched her, if you prefer a different one, or how that goes.
So that particular video you talked about, that's the only video I've ever seen by her.
Yeah, because I shared it with you. I'm like, you have to watch this.
It's a really good video. I feel like I could definitely watch more of her first stuff. Storytime animator type shit just isn't really the thing that I kind of go to on YouTube. However, I will say on this past YouTube Rewind, which was awful, the only part that I enjoyed was her like 4 or 5 second bit where she had a lot of references to PewDiePie and a bunch of memes that happened throughout the year, and a lot of stuff that probably went under the radar for YouTube, but it was really the thing that kind of felt like 2018. So there is another animation channel which I'll bring up after this one, but I do think she belongs on the list. I'd agree.
6.5 million, been around since 2014. Multiple views in the millions. She consistently gets that usually.
Yeah, she's doing really well consistently as far as views and shit goes.
I could have gone like odd one out or like a different one of those groups. Jane's the one I prefer the most, so that's the one I went with.
I will agree. So kind of following up the animation train, Jello Apocalypse.
He's on mine.
Really? Okay, cool.
Yep.
So this is probably the only animation channel that I had on mine, and it's because there's just not that many animation channels, really.
That's true.
And there's just not a lot of them that I watch. Anyways, he's been around for it says he started his channel in 2009, but I doubt his oldest video is that long. 6-7 years ago. Okay. He's been doing shit a lot longer than I thought, but the things that he's most famous for are his Welcome to series, where he has like Welcome to YouTube, Welcome to Twitter, Tumblr, and he kind of jokes about, makes fun of those like fan bases and stuff. But the videos I really like by him are So This Is Basically series, where he talks about certain franchises and stuff, and his Every Such and Such film reviewed in 10 words or less. He's done all the Disney films. He's done all the Scooby-Doo movies. Like all
a lot of good creative advice on there too for the like tip of the tongue stuff. Designing a Pokemon game video, like you can tell this dude like also enjoys making stuff and is not just one of those I'm a film reviewer who doesn't really like film or whatever. Like,
right.
Dude can make fun of things and joke at them, but also like really see the strengths in there too. And I kind of like that a little bit more than sort of the negative stuff. Like he'll have fun with it and poke fun at it, and also like talk about what he would do better, stuff like that, you know.
And it's like,
but yeah, he was on my list as well.
Yeah, even with the podcast, like you could watch all of his content in like a week. Like he doesn't have that many videos, but everything he has is very solid.
Very good.
So we're putting him on the list.
I agree. Kind of taking it off of animation for a little bit and moving into more live action, if you will. I don't know if you'll agree with this or not. I assume he's on your list. We'll see. Up next for me is H3H3.
I agree.
But not only that, also on the list is the H3H3 podcast as well, because I think both are crucial segments of YouTube. And both, I think, deserve being on the list. I don't know if you agree necessarily, but they're both on mine. So let's talk H3H3 first, though.
For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, H3H3 been around for, again, quite a while. Oldest video is 6 years ago. 6.5 million subs. Most of their videos are well into the millions of views. But you will probably know H3H3 mostly from his Vape Nation video. Vape Nation.
That's a good one.
Where he talks about a bunch of prank channels. It's a commentary channel. It's a commentary with a bunch of comedy. And him and both his wife, Ela, are some of the funniest people on the platform. IMO.
I agree. Ela's great too.
Agreed.
Yeah, she's like the secret ingredient, I think. Like Ethan's the funny haha YouTube guy, but like you stay for Hila and all them.
Right. I think they're definitely a really good dynamic.
They have a baby now too. It's crazy.
Ew. It's wild.
Yeah, and a dog. They like grow up with you.
Mm-hmm. It's weird
in terms of like comedy shit, in terms of commentary channels. If I had to pick one commentary channel, it's H3H3. So it represents another kind of genre we haven't really touched on yet.
Now, what's interesting about the podcast, and I'm wondering whether we should just keep it to one channel per creator or not, because I feel like a lot of these creators have multiple projects.
He's not the only one I have with something like that.
Okay.
Too, so
interesting. Okay. So H3 podcast, just to give you some background on that. 2 million subscribers. It is a podcast that is streamed live. I think it was on Twitch for a while. It might be streamed on YouTube now. I don't know. But they've been going strong for 2 years. It's the first thing that
shows up when you type in H3H3.
Yeah. It's going to be their biggest thing, honestly. Mm-hmm. If it didn't already, just because they don't put out as many videos on the main channel, I honestly think in like 3-4 years, like the H3 podcast is going to be a lot bigger.
I think so.
But they have a lot of really big guests.
They do.
Which is wild. A lot of people that are going to be on this list. A lot of musicians, a lot of actors. They recently had, what's his name? Andrew Yang, who is running for president.
Yeah. Crazy.
So there's a lot of that kind of clout, if you will, that is there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. I'm wondering. I mean, I like both of these channels a lot.
H3H3 for sure is going on.
I agreed.
Yeah, they're first to put on, but the podcast is like, I don't think we're gonna find another podcast channel that's like right up there. I have another one for later.
I have a similar
but I don't
kind of a podcast,
watch them
but not entirely
as much. Yeah.
Okay.
So in terms of like YouTuber podcast stuff, I feel like that covers another genre. I feel like they're really good at what they do. Whatever. I'd be fine either way.
I say we put both of them on the list now, and then if it gets to be like, oh no, we got 60 people here, then we can make that decision. But I agree. Both really good content.
He's not the only example of that I have on here, but it's not a big overlapping thing. It only happens a couple of times on mine.
Cool.
All right. Cool. We have 11 people so far. 11 channels.
Wild.
I'm liking the list so far. These 11 people are like, yeah, these are like kick-ass shit.
I agree.
All right, back to you.
The next one is Captain Disillusion. And I don't know if you know this one or not.
I've seen thumbnails, and I know he has the thing with the face mask kind of under him, but no, I've never watched a video of his.
So this is one of those where it was like, I got recommended some videos of his a couple years ago, but I didn't know who he was. I didn't watch anything. I didn't know what he did. And then I watched a video of his, and they are literally, I think he makes the best quality videos on the platform.
Really?
Hands down.
It's a high bar.
He's a graphic designer, but not really graphic design, more of like CGI. Like he does a lot of modeling and for his videos, and there's just so much put into him. Mm-hmm. He's been around for also 12 years. He just recently reached 1 million subscribers. I want to say at the beginning of the year. He's at 1.6 million now, which he, in my opinion, definitely deserves. His style of content is very heady. It's about he debunks a bunch of like fake videos. He does a lot of visual effects. That's what it is. It's all like visual effects type stuff, but it's still very interesting and entertaining to watch. But just like I'll send you a video real quick just so you can kind of see like a few seconds of his like visual style. Like, just scroll through it and you'll see like all kinds of wild shit that he does. This ain't even the best video for it, but it's like, yeah. Anyways. one of my favorite creators for sure. One of them that I watch everything he puts out now, because he doesn't put out like a whole lot. But I personally think it's probably the best content on the platform as far as visually speaking.
I'll have to take your word on it. Zach says it's the best. It's the best. We're putting it on.
Cool. Let's go.
Putting it on. Okay. Which one do I want to do next? Okay. So, we'll do another different genre that I haven't covered yet. In terms of the tech boys, a lot of tech boys out there, a lot of different tech boy channels. It really came down to two for me, and the one I went with is the bigger of the two and probably the more popular of the two. I went with Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD, for this list. In terms of tech channels, in particular, some of the best. Some of the best shit. Phone reviews are one of a kind. Dope tech, where he goes over like all sorts of weird and out there shit, like camera robots. Him talking about cars. I don't even give a shit about cars, but the way he gets into electric cars is just like, I kind of want a Tesla now. Like, just a very fun and engaging, and also like level-headed. I think that's what I like about it most. Is like he can cover any product by any company and still have a level head throughout all of it. Where it's like clear that like more than any other tech reviewer I watch is just, this is formed with logic, this is formed with objectivity, and if he has a bias, he tells you directly, like out front, like this is what I prefer, this is what I like. And in terms of like all the tech reviewers out there, he's my favorite of the bunch.
I
been around forever, 9 million subs. March 2008.
He's another one of those legacy creators which has been around for like 10 years plus.
One creator of the decade.
He did.
Or some award thing. I don't know.
He did. Yeah, 11 years ago. I really love his mindset as far as creativity and shit. I haven't really watched a whole lot of his videos. I've seen a couple, but watching things about tech just isn't something that's all that interesting to me. But there's a few of these big tech YouTubers which I highly respect, but I think he is definitely kind of the top.
If I'm picking one, I'm going him.
Yeah, I would agree. Like I said, he was on my list too. If I can spell properly, that would be great.
Maybe if you spell correctly. All right.
Cool.
Next. Shoot through.
Next on the list, this one might be a little weird for you. L of the Mills.
I don't know this one either.
L Mills is a vlogger, story time type creator who started back in not that long ago. 5 years ago. Okay, 5 years ago. But a couple of years ago, she said, I'm gonna get 1 million subs. I'm gonna go viral. And she like did it in like 2 months.
Wow.
Like it was fucking insane. She did a lot of she blew up really quickly to the point where she was going to all these cons and stuff, and then out of nowhere she made a video about her breakdown because she got burnt out. And so she was really one of the first creators to kind of open up that conversation to the YouTube community and to the mainstream media about YouTuber burnout. But what I really like about her videos is that they're very short, almost movies. They're funny, they're entertaining, there's a lot going on, a lot of pretty colors, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, she's at 1.5 million right now. Here's one of her videos.
I turned my mom's house into a
Yeah,
rat.
they're very kind of wild and a little bit out there. But it's not to the point where it's obnoxious, in my opinion. Because there's a lot of those big vloggers that are obnoxious. I think she's very more down to earth about shit.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll take your word for it.
Sounds good.
This next one won't need hardly any argument for at all.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe if you want to talk about it. Next up for me is the #1 YouTuber on the platform, PewDiePie.
I agree.
kind of a no-brainer, right? Like, kind of wild we took to number 15 to even talk about him, but
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to save him a little bit for later. Yeah, number one creator on the platform for several years, holds the longest reign over anybody. Huge for Let's Plays, huge for vlogs, huge for like Pew News and talking about conversations and news topics and
Memes,
burnout and
all kinds
memes
of stuff.
and like just an enormous impact on the platform as a whole. If something happens to YouTube, something happens to PewDiePie. Like, you know, they're connected. I feel,
yeah, a lot of ways. Yeah.
Plus, like, content I just like watching. He's the number one YouTuber, and he has stuff I like watching. So that's a bonus for me.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fact
yeah.
that I even enjoy his stuff in the first place. Because like Legacy and Impact alone would put him on here. But I also just like his stuff in general. So there's a bonus for you.
Yeah, if you had told me like 6 years ago to watch PewDiePie, I'd be like, no, I don't want to. Like, I don't like his content. But like the last 3 years, he's made some of the best, like that fast food content we were talking about. Like, they're very just watchable and they're fun to watch and they're funny. And I honestly, actually, I feel like I could go back and watch just like any PewDiePie video and still get enjoyment out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just a very genuine, down to earth guy.
I agree.
Then yeah,
Marzi is pretty great too. And the Pugs,
yeah,
they're all a bunch of winners.
been around for
Number 15.
2010 and has 98 million subscribers, almost 99. Plus, like, we had that entire PewDiePie versus T-Series thing.
Oh yeah.
Which,
and T-Series is not on my list.
no, not mine
I'm
either.
telling you that. So
Yeah.
okay.
Cool.
Next up,
Going back to vloggers for a little bit, Casey Neistat.
he's on my list too.
11.4 million, also kind of a legacy creator, been around for fucking forever, 9 years. Got his start doing an HBO series with his brother, started doing daily vlogs, I want to say about 4 or 5 years ago. Really got big off of that daily vlog and basically creating the entire vlog format that we know of today.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Because before him, it was just a person looking into a camera and talking. Now we
Now
have
it's all cinematic and shit.
filmmaking into vlogs. And
Much appreciated.
a lot of people owe their careers to this man.
I agree. I don't watch this stuff personally, but Impact is one of the things I was really looking at. And in terms of vloggers,
Yeah.
he's right up there. So
I think as an entrepreneur, he's definitely like one of my role models in that aspect. I feel like I can just watch a video of his and learn something, whether it's his struggles or successes. And dude has so much energy, and not in an outwardly way like some creators, but just like always doing shit.
a genuine passion.
Cool. So we agree.
I appreciate it. I agree.
Awesome.
Speaking of learning,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go big learn boy himself. Michael here, Vsauce.
Yes.
Yeah. And I could, if I'm honest, I could put some of his side channels up on this list as well. I'm not going to.
Yeah. For real.
Michael himself and the quality of content from the beginning was just like, never has learning been as fun when it's Michael at the camera talking about whatever the fuck he's into and you're just along for the ride.
I love the career of Michael Vsauce because he started out with like these wild movie video game parody videos. He has a video called Mario Farts from 9 years ago. And
I didn't know this.
His old videos are they're wild. They are wild. A lot of boobs in the thumbnail type thing.
Okay.
But if you scroll down a little bit, you get past like the 8-year mark into the I hope it's soon because I'm still scrolling. Okay, yeah, around the 7-year mark.
Any second now.
He starts getting into the very the highly intellectual existential big brain videos. Why do we dream? How much does the internet weigh? Just like these big questions. And he talks about them. He does so much research into them. And they're entertaining and enjoyable to watch. And
he's the best.
He's even done 3 seasons of a YouTube Red show.
One of the only good ones I've heard.
I agree. I've seen all 3 seasons, and that's the one that I like the most.
Word up.
But I'm just gonna agree. I mean, I don't think there's any debate.
It can't have a top 50 without Vsauce.
I agree.
Like, that's YouTube right there. It's Vsauce. And he's a memer. He's a big meme boy. A big meme boy.
All right, let me get wild with my next one. Hold on, let me say one that maybe we could have some debate about.
Okay. We haven't debated a lot. We've put it in everybody.
Right, a lot of these things have been people that we've both known.
I have some wild ones coming up, though. I have saved a lot of them.
Nintendo Capri Sun.
Ooh, okay.
So, another legacy creator, not as well known. But as far as the gaming side of YouTube goes, as far as Let's Plays in particular, especially the traditional Let's Plays without the face cam and stuff, sure. He has been around. Mr. Nintendo Capri Sun himself has been around for 11 years. 410,000 subscribers, so the smallest channel we've talked about at this point. But I think from his legacy alone, that arguably he could be on this list. I don't watch him nearly as much as I used to, just because I don't watch Let's Plays much anymore.
Sure.
But I think out of the old school old school Let's Players, he is one of my favorite, if not my favorite.
I think my only problem with putting him on here is that I have 5 more on this list. 5 more Let's Players.
Right.
And I know some of them are going to be different from yours too.
Right.
We don't have the same group. So my only issue is that a fifth of this list is just going to be Let's Players.
Right.
And if we're going to have Let's Players on there, I want to narrow it down to like 2 or 3.
I agree. No, I completely agree.
So, are we really, really sure that like out of everybody, that's one of the 3 we're going with?
Yeah, I get that. I think you're
right. But
I
like them though.
Yeah.
It's just I know I have a lot coming up, and not even all of them I don't think are going to get on. So
yeah, this is definitely more personal bias, I think, than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked about it before. Like he was like one of my early inspirations of YouTube. But no, I think you're right. I think that it's definitely one that maybe doesn't need to be in top 50, top 100, sure, but like
top 100. I think I'm gonna disagree and say top 100.
Okay.
Just because I know what I have coming up.
I'm down with that. I'm cool with that. It's the first one we've kind of taken
disagreed
off.
on.
I'm cool with that.
Here's one that you're gonna disagree with. 4 letters, all capital.
Okay.
Fucking Fred. I know you're gonna disagree with that, and you're probably right. That's the thing. You're probably gonna convince me not to put Fred on here. However, when I thought of YouTube in my dumb brain, Fred came up for me, and I feel like it does for a big part of the YouTube generation. Fred comes up. But there's a couple of problems with putting him on this list. Number 1, he's annoying. Number 2, the channel ain't even active anymore.
No.
It's run by like kids or something. And 3, it's not relevant anymore either. It's clearly had its heyday and it left. But he was the number 1 YouTuber for a period of time. He was on TV shows. He had several movies. And the dude himself, Lucas Cruikshank or whatever, still has a successful YouTube channel. Not on the Fred one anymore. But him himself as like a personality, still on YouTube to this day. But I
think my problem.
There's multiple problems.
I mean, there's multiple problems. So I think
yeah, go ahead.
For starters, the channel's been active for 4 years.
Sure.
But even before that, there's an entire like year, possibly 2 years, where it's not Fred related at all. It's just like some kids. There's even a video with Jake Paul on here. Like Jake Paul is in the video on this channel.
Spoilers.
So there's that. I also think that he did have a reputation, but I wouldn't necessarily say that reputation is good. And so when I'm thinking top 50 YouTubers, I'm thinking of people that like I can still recommend.
Okay.
And maybe that's just
them
me.
all to be good.
If you want to talk, I preferably, right? Like, if we were going to make a list of like top 50 important YouTubers,
sure,
then maybe he could go on the list, like right there with fucking Annoying Orange.
I did not put an orange.
And even like
I
Ray
have
William
little bit of
Johnson.
standards.
I wish I could put Ray William Johnson on this list. But
I have him on mine too. That's another one of mine. I'll go ahead and throw that out.
is that okay?
He's on here.
Okay, because I thought
For
about
the same
him,
kind of reason.
but it's like I can go back and watch a Ray William Johnson video and at least have like a couple of chuckles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to watch a Fred video.
Impact was definitely a big part of my list, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie and say I watch Fred every day or whatever, but
Right.
when I thought of YouTube, he came to my mind. Ray
That's
William
fair.
Johnson came to my mind. Yeah.
But it's also
I
like when
think
we
you're
put
right, though.
Rebecca Black.
Rebecca Black is not on this, thankfully. Okay, fine. I'll get rid of Fred, and then by extension, we have to get rid of Ray William Johnson as well.
I think so. And as much as I liked Ray William Johnson for a long time, I feel like he was also another like top creator for like 3 years before PewDiePie took it over. He also had an entire
Smosh
music channel.
before
He had
PewDiePie.
animators. Oh yeah, Smosh too. Yeah. Like he had an animation like channel with like actual TV shows and cartoons. Ray William Johnson did a lot, and he's still doing a lot, but none of it's relevant. And
Sure.
there are multiple people that I've talked to in the last like 3 years that don't even know who he is.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I would take him off my list too.
Okay. Is it back to you or back to me? How we?
Go ahead and do another one for you, since I did bring up Ray William Johnson.
Okay. Kind of another older YouTuber, but one that I kind of like, and is still sort of relevant today. Nika Higa
Okay.
was on my list.
Okay.
How to Be Ninja was like one of the first videos I've ever watched. He was on a game show, Internet Icon. I don't know if you ever watched Internet Icon, but he was a judge for that. And like from what I understand,
he's on a
still
podcast now. That's cool.
makes videos today. 21 million subs, 384 videos. Kind of in that old guard of YouTubers. The Teehee guy. The Sham Woohoo. Remember the Sham Woohoo? That's a good video.
Yeah.
Kind of the early days of like YouTube comedy back then. Of just like really short, put together, high energy videos that I really liked back in the day. I was a kid though, so I don't know if I'd go back and rewatch them, but if I'm picking him over like a Fred or a Ray William Johnson, I feel like he's a little bit of a step above that. So
Yeah, I think the quality of content is definitely leagues above that kind of stuff.
sure.
And I don't think he's
Definitely there for the legacy.
Right, the legacy is definitely there. I don't think he is as relevant for sure. 21 million subscribers, and he's getting like. Well, let's not even talk about views. I don't think he's as relevant. However, he's still doing shit, and it's still on his main channel, and some of it is still like the comedy shit that he was known for, and they're still getting views. He did a Fortnite movie trailer like a year ago, and it's got like 20 million views. So I think it's arguable that he could be on this list.
He's just one of those older people that I thought of when I thought of YouTube.
Yeah,
was right there with him, and I think has a little bit more leeway over Ray William Johnson or Fred. So
I think I'd agree. I think if we need to cut anybody, like he would be one of the first people for me to cut. But I think it's fine to put him down for right now.
Okay, fine by me. All right, back to you.
I'm gonna go with the big boys himself, the Game Grumps.
Yep, they're on mine.
So
Absolutely agree.
going back to the gaming things, I think they're not the biggest Let's Players, but when you look at that traditional Let's Play shit, no face cam, when you look at just like they're just the funniest dudes on the internet. Some of the funniest dudes for sure.
I agree. Yeah. They're the biggest co-op Let's Play.
They are. Yeah. 5.1 million subscribers. Been around since 2012. Started with JonTron and Ego Raptor, who I debated putting on the list, but I did not.
He's on mine.
Is he? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Now it is Mr. Dan Avidan of Ninja Sex Party. Dan and Aaron, they play video games, and it's like they're the only Let's Players that I would say, whether you like Let's Plays or not, you should still watch them.
I agree.
Because they're funny, and the commentary is what you go to there. And then
which is some of the best.
And then they've put out like even non-gaming content that's
the live action stuff.
The fucking best shit ever.
Yeah, puts them on the list.
So I mean, I'm putting them on the list.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I watched them from day one when it was John and Aaron. Loved it then. Watched it when it transferred over to Dan and Aaron. Love it then. I'm a fan all around. Those dudes, seriously funny people. We'll watch them probably till the end of time. Some of the best gaming videos I've ever seen. And probably out of all the Let's Playing boys I have on here, the ones I hold up in the highest regard.
Agreed.
Boys right there. So love them to death.
Oh.
Cool. Okay. Let's do kind of an interesting one. So I'm gonna bring it back to movie people.
Okay.
Sort of. Kind of. When I think like the big boy movie reviewers, it's the Sardonicast cast, if you will. All three of them could have been on here. I only picked one.
Okay.
And I'm sure you probably have all three.
I picked two.
You picked two. Okay. We might not even have the same one on here, because I think my favorite is different from your favorite.
Really?
I'm going with I Hate Everything.
He's on my list.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's one of your two?
Yeah.
Okay. He was the first one I got introduced to. The concept is pretty cool. It's sort of him hating shit, but in less of a angry way and more of a I'm disappointed in life kind of way.
It's so good.
And I think that's what makes it funny, is the fact that it's so deadpan and low energy, but still just a really seething sort of anger. And the thing is, like, he hates a lot of stuff too, but like when you tell that he really likes something is when you're like, oh, okay, there's more to this channel and there's more to this human being. And it's when we get into that stuff that I'm like, Alex is the person. I'm like, yes, fuck this. This is great. But when he's, acting around hating shit too, that's good as well. But the editing's on point. Search for the worst. Any of the stuff he does, I'm a huge fan of them. And when he talks about movies too, I just feel like he's the most genuine out of the bunch. Of like, this is a movie that I liked because type of shit. Where it's like, he's not going to tell you the objective of anything. He's going to tell you why he liked the movie. And I prefer that in a world of really hyper-analyzed, hypercritical movie criticism.
Pretentious?
Yeah. He either really hates something or really likes something, and I just feel that passion in there. So, but you have him on your list too. Interesting.
I do.
I think he'd make the cut.
Yeah, he is one of my favorite off the start. Sardonicast is it's a podcast made up of IHE, I Hate Everything, Ralph the Movie Maker, and Adam from Your Movie Sucks. Three big boys in the movie review YouTube circle. Definitely one of my favorite podcasts on the platform. It's not on my list.
It's not on my list.
Just because I think that individual creators are a little bit stronger. But if you like movies and you like either one of the three of these guys, I highly suggest it. Anyways, Everything has been around since 2013. 1.9 million subscribers. And you're right, like he talks about a lot of bad things and a lot of things he does hate. But he's also like gotten into the point where he's talking about like all the superhero films from like a given year and kind of some of these big blockbuster movies. And he's one of the only one of these film reviewers that kind of talk about these films in a positive light too. Like he doesn't nitpick all the big blockbusters just for the sake of nitpicking it, which I really do appreciate.
Yeah. So like, I just think for a channel called I Hate Everything, it's actually pretty tame for the most part.
Yeah.
Anger is usually pretty justified. So yeah, I'm a fan.
I would definitely. Yeah, like I said, he's on my list.
Just a funny dude in general.
All right.
That's it though. We have 20 people so far. Top 20. 20 people.
That's wild.
And we've already like kind of debunked a few, but like I have more than 30 left.
Yeah,
I know you
same.
have more than 30 left. So
I'm a little
we're gonna have
concerned.
to start cutting. We're gonna be cutting pretty soon. Go ahead and pick the other member.
Yeah, so
Cast.
while I do like Your Movie Sucks for some videos, there's a lot about Adam and his content that I'm not the biggest fan of. But the other member on that is Ralph the Movie Maker.
I agree.
And dude is great. He makes, honestly, I think I enjoy Ralph's videos more than I hate everything. But that's just because I think humor wise and shit, like Ralph is just, he goes a little bit bigger. He has he's a filmmaker.
A bit more of a personality.
And he brings that to the table in a lot of his videos. But he's doing a Nicolas Cage-a-thon. He just put out his third episode of that, where he's like watching all these Nick Cage movies.
Sure.
He's covered the entire DCEU, and those are just like a 44-minute video on Justice League.
Yeah.
And it's just wild. But he also has the Ralph Recommends videos, which he just started putting out a year ago, where it's like, here's a movie he really likes that I've never heard of, and he talks about why he really likes it. And it kind of, brings me to those types of movies. And he's not like some movie reviewers where they talk about like every new movie that comes out, which is fine. There's a niche for that. I do some of that shit. But it's like he talks about the specific ones he wants to talk about. And it's refreshing. So it's not a video every day. It's not even a video every week, but every video he puts out I enjoy.
I concur.
556,000 subscribers. I thought he had more, but he's been around since it says his channel is as old as 2008, with his first video being 5 years ago, where he started talking about The Amazing Spider-Man, a bad movie.
He's the lowest out of anybody we put so
He
far,
is the lowest one.
subs.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Are we putting him on there? Like, do you agree?
I am. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. He's not my cup of tea, but like from how you and Jay have described him, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of his shit that I really like though out of him. Mostly his standalone stuff. I don't watch the review.
That's fair.
A whole lot.
That's fair.
Okay, so let's kind of okay, so this is gonna be another video game boy.
I got a few of them. I mean, it's
I got a few video
big
game
part
boys.
of YouTube, arguably.
I know. However, I thought a lot about which of these guys I like the most, and this one has less to do with the content than the human being behind it.
I already know who you're talking about. Go ahead.
Say it. Go ahead.
Jacksepticeye?
It's not Jacksepticeye.
It's not. Okay, go for it.
It's not. It's the completionist.
Oh yeah.
That's what I went with.
He's on my list too.
Yeah, Gerard.
Yeah.
That's it. Gerard the human being is in the top 50 of human beings. The fact that he has a YouTube channel is just a bonus added to that. But no, I guess I should describe a little bit what he does. He's the completionist, as it says in the title. He completes one game every week, and he's been doing it, God,
I want to say 5 years.
too long.
4 years. 4 years. Yeah.
He's completed over 300 games. He's recompleting half of his backlog because of tragedy along the way, but he's bounced back from it. He's resilient. He's an overwhelming force of positivity. He talks about why he loves games in a personal and honest and unique way. His crew and his production team are some of the best people you could ever meet. Them alone probably could have had a channel. Some of them could have been on this list, but Gerard is like a boss. Gerard as a YouTuber behind Big Bad Bosses as well. He's been in the Game Grumps sphere, part of Normal Boots, that crew.
He was one of the founding members of Normal Boots, along with John Tron.
Yeah.
He's the head of like the National Dex, which is a Pokemon channel. Yeah, I mean,
just a big producer, but also like, if I'm picking Normal Boots people, it's John Tron and Completionist right under him.
yeah, for sure.
Those are my two.
And there's a couple of other one of those boys that I think are really good, and I still watch occasionally, but I didn't put them on the list. Those two are the ones that I did put on the list, though.
Yeah.
So,
I had to. Mainly due to Gerard himself. Because I'll be honest, like, not every episode, I don't watch every episode of The Completionist, but I admire so much the amount of work ethic and dedication it takes to do something like that for how long and how consistently he's been doing it, despite at multiple points being kicked in the fucking throat. You know, I respect that. I really do.
I agree.
So yeah, he's on the list for me.
I'm putting him on there. All right. Let's get a little wild.
Okay.
Mr. Beast.
He's on mine.
Okay, cool.
He's on mine. Yeah.
So, Mr. Beast isn't a creator that I watch that often.
Me neither.
I've seen 3 or 4 of his videos. But the reason he's on my list is because he's not that old he hasn't been doing YouTube that long, but he's been, well, never mind. He's been doing it for 7 years. Yeah. His original channel started with Minecraft videos and Pokemon Showdown videos, which is a little wild. There's some Call of Duty shit.
That could be me. Anyways,
he's been doing YouTube for a while, but it wasn't until like 2 years ago when he started to blow up. And it was because he came up with these super original ideas that now everybody's copying. But it's like his most popular video is, I put 100 million Orbeez in my friend's backyard.
Okay.
And every single one of his most recent videos gets at least like 10 million views. And it's fucking insane.
Yeah, I agree though.
22 million subs. I think that he is going to be one of the biggest channels on the platform. Like, I think he's going to be up there with like PewDiePie and shit in like 5 years.
I agree.
Cool.
Okay, so kind of taking a crazy left turn.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 food channels on this list.
Oh. Interesting.
I don't know if you even have any.
I don't think I do.
Okay. So my 2 are, I'm going to start with the most popular one first. It's called First We Feast.
Oh, okay.
They're the Hot Ones
I
boys.
thought about it, yeah.
Yeah. I just think, like, Hot Ones is such a cornerstone of culture and good interviewing, and Sean Evans, like, particular handling the interviewing. It's just, like, some top-notch work. Like, take what you will about the hot sauce and the wings and that side of things, which is entertaining. Mm-hmm. But, like, the interviews themselves and how Sean Evans goes about them, I just think is great. He's just a great speaker. He's a great interviewer. I love the guests that they have on. And sure, they have, like, other shows on the channel, but it's Hot Ones that's sticking them at this point.
Definitely.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of like you take that off of YouTube and you're like, where are you at, really?
Yeah.
And I don't watch a lot of food channels, but they're one of the few.
Like, you could basically get rid of the hot wings, and I would still want to watch these videos because they're that good. The interviews, and they're mostly interviews with like celebrities. There's some YouTubers, there's some entrepreneurs, there's, you know, a lot of big names on this show. But yeah, I thought about putting it on the list, on my list, but I'm glad you brought it up because it is one of the best shows on YouTube. I think so.
Like, it's a YouTube original show, pretty much.
It is. It really is.
And it's, like, transformed into this, like, national thing. It's great.
Yeah.
So that was the easy one. The one that I'm going to have to do a little bit more arguing.
I'm going to put that on there.
It's called Bon Appetit. I don't know if you've seen this.
I have not.
So what they're known for is the whole, like, gourmet makes thing. So you may have had this recommended. Is like, gourmet chef makes, like, gourmet versions of M&Ms or cheeses. Oh,
this is interesting. No, I've never seen anything from this guy.
Ramen noodles. All this sort of stuff. And here's the thing. I don't know a lot about cooking. I don't know a whole lot about food. I'll eat what's cheap and what's convenient, basically.
Yeah.
You know, I don't go out of my way and do all this. What I like about this channel more than any other food channel is that the food stuff is, like, good and everything, but it's the people that I keep coming back to. They have a cast of characters, essentially. It's almost kind of structured a little bit like a sitcom, where there's a cast of characters, and you see them all pretty much in, like, every video. to the point where like it's like The Office for food, basically. It's the best way I could describe it.
Okay.
Where you watch one video in one series by one of the people, and then you like go over to one of the other ones and you see them in the background. All the videos are like filmed in their test kitchen, right? So rather than it's just like a one-on-one thing, people are working. Like it's a functioning test kitchen. So all the people like in the background are from other videos that you could watch, and it's just this whole connected thing. And then you see all their personalities and how they like talk to each other and how good friends they are. I come more for the people than I ever did for the food. And the fact that I've watched so many hours of food-related content that I will not remember or care about is astounding. And that's partially due to the entertainment value, the really smart editing, and just the people behind it. I feel like I know each of these people. I know Gabby. I know Chris. I know Claire. I know Brad. All of them in particular. It's just like, it's a sitcom basically, but with like food videos as sort of the disguise to like get you into it basically. Love them to death.
Yeah, this is cool. No, there's a lot of videos here that I'm like, oh, I want to watch these.
Yeah.
Little background, 4.2 million subs. Been around for 6 years. Looks like a lot of very traditional, like this could be on Food Network videos, and then they just get bigger and better from what I'm seeing. Yeah, yeah, that's cool. I'm actually gonna check this out, but I'll put it on the list.
You should. It's a fun one. But those are my two foods, my two food channels.
That one's interesting. Yeah, we are halfway there.
We are, Jesus, and we still have way
which
more
is
than
wild
25
because I saw it
on both. We're gonna have to start cutting eventually.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I'm probably gonna silently cut some of them, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, I am going to pick my next one, and I'll get a little wild again.
Okay.
There's another channel called Exerbia.
Never heard of them.
I'll send you the link so you can check it out because it's hard to spell. This dude is a writer first and foremost. He's written a few like science fiction books, but he takes that writing and puts it into these existential videos to where like
this looks like some 4 a.m. kind of shit.
it is some 4 a.m. type of shit. Like I found one of these videos and then I watched his entire discography in like 2 days type of thing.
Really?
Every video makes you think a lot about life and the universe, and it makes you super depressed, and then at the end of it he just kind of lifts you back up. And the writing is like the strongest part about it, but the visuals are also really good. Like it's definitely one of my highest recommended videos. I actually put his channel on my favorite things of 2018 video at the end of the year, because I found his channel. Yeah, 1 million subs. Been doing it for around 5 years, but like enough videos. There's probably like 50 videos here. You could watch literally all of them in a weekend. But yeah, like England, a beginner's guide, 5 questions for nature, one about making stuff, which is about creativity. Like if you're into creativity at all, if you're into like philosophy or just like that kind of shit, definitely recommend.
I'll agree.
Cool.
Just because I'm into this like existential like.
It's so good.
Like I'd probably enjoy it from that aspect alone. Okay. So now with how many spots we have, I'm really making sure that each one I say, I'm kind of skipping out of order and like making sure I get the big ones here.
Same.
Because I don't want to cut anyone out that like really, really needs to be on here versus my own personal favorites.
Yeah,
Here's one that really, really needs to be on here. Philip DeFranco.
I agree.
YouTube OG. One of the only people who talks about like news and drama in a way that is both entertaining, thoughtful, engaging, down to earth. And again, it's called kind of like a Bon Appetit thing where like Philip DeFranco's good, but like the crew around him too is also just like, man, I'd want to work there, you know? Like,
yeah.
You get sucked into the environment and the sets and the people working behind the scenes. He's a parent, just a great guy overall. I don't watch him a ton, but Patient I know really likes him a lot. And every time I've seen a video of his, I've always just been impressed by how just level-headed in general.
Yeah.
Been around forever too.
Another legacy channel, 2006. Like literally started when YouTube started. 6.4 million subs. If I want to watch news, which I never really do, but if I want to, like, I'll watch him. He's the only like news source that I really would care to watch.
Was he on your list?
He was on my list, yeah.
Okay, good.
So I agree. I mean, I feel like nobody can deny that one, right? That's another just big one.
I had to get him in here quickly because I knew people were gonna like, why don't you have? That's why.
Let's get wild again.
Okay.
Jablinski Games.
Wow, not on my list.
Super wild, and I don't know if we'll keep it on the list or not. But Jablinski Games is Jack Black, but with a gaming channel. It's not really a gaming channel, but it's a gaming channel. 7 months ago, not even that long ago, Jack Black posted a video called "Hello, Jack Black Here," and it's 29 seconds. It's got 12 million views. Was on trending literally a few hours after it came out, and he calls out PewDiePie and Ninja in a PewDiePie gaming chair.
Nice.
And it's like
perfection.
It's great. Like, there's Will Smith on YouTube who is a celebrity who makes YouTube videos, but then there's Jack Black who has become a celebrity that is a YouTuber.
I feel it.
I think quality wise, I mean, Jack Black just has the charisma, right, and the personality.
Oh yeah.
So it's like I could probably watch anything that he's in. Especially the non-scripted shit. Like, it's like with a movie that he's in, like, there's a lot of people scripting what he has to say, and you could say, okay, this is a bad movie. But his personality just makes these videos. So yeah, I would personally put him on the list. I don't know if he'll make the final top 50, but I think there's a case to be made.
Absolutely. All right. Yeah.
It's hard.
Okay. So here's where I'm at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still a lot of gaming boys that I need to kind of get through. I'm going to throw out two. Mm-hmm. We could put both on here. We could put one on here. But like if PewDiePie's 1, you know who 2 and 3 is about to be.
Yep.
Jacksepticeye and Markiplier. 1
yep.
2 and 3. And I know I have a lot of gaming boys. I don't want the entire list to be Let's Players, but it was like PewDiePie, Grumps, and these 2 were the 4 I had to put on here. As far as Let's Players, like they don't get any better than this. I personally enjoy Jacksepticeye a little bit more out of the 2, so if I'm having to pick, it's him. But I can't deny the impact Markiplier has made as well. So
they are both super big. They are both around the same subscriber count, and it's a lot of it is because in many ways they are 2 sides of the same coin. Both have high energy. Jacksepticeye a little bit more than Markiplier. Jack at 22 million, Mark at 24 million. Both got over 4,000 videos. Jesus. I watched Markiplier daily for 2 years.
Well,
so I had to put him on the list.
You're leaning toward. Yeah.
And he started 7 years ago. I think he's really made an impact with his charity live streams. Both have, but I think he was the ones that really like kind of started that forefront on gaming YouTube. He's definitely more into the horror aspect of shit and has gradually branched out and done a lot of different things. And like you said, like, I mean, he's worked with the Game Grumps, he's worked with PewDiePie and all that kind of shit. And he's also made, again, some of the best content on YouTube with his live action stuff. There are like 2 or 3 feature-length type films that are 100% interactive and are like just kind of mind-blowing that somebody was able to create that for YouTube. Is A Date with Markiplier, for instance.
I've not watched it.
I recommend it. Jacksepticeye, on the other hand, started 6 years ago around the same moment. But what's particularly cool about him is that he got a shout out from PewDiePie about 3 years into his career. And at that point, like, he just went for a good solid 3 or 4 years, just 2 videos a day, and kept that 2 videos a day every single day for 4 years. And his work ethic is just fucking unreal.
Phenomenal.
And he started. They've both kind of done a lot of experimental shit over the last couple of years. But Jacksepticeye's been doing these videos where he's talking to celebrities, or he had like a talk with Aaron from Game Grumps that was like an hour long.
Mm-hmm.
And those videos are just really interesting to listen to. And yeah, I think there's a high case to be made for both of them.
Both, you think?
They're both on my list personally. I know that
it's just tough. I know down the road, like,
it's hard because it's so gaming centric, but like YouTube gaming was a thing. Gaming was the most popular thing on YouTube.
They were at the forefront
for years.
Yeah. It's the big tree. The big holy trinity. If you put PewDiePie, you gotta kind of have the other two there.
I feel like it, right? And I think maybe we can take them off if we need to later, but
Sure. Put them both on for now.
They're definitely two people that I think of when I think of YouTube.
Okay, we'll put them on then.
Cool.
Put them on for now.
It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna get really fucking hard in a minute here. We're at 30, by the way.
Yeah, there's some like personal guys that I have on this list that I'm just not gonna talk about them because I feel like they're either too niche or they could still grow in the next couple of years and become bigger. But
put them in there later.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take them off of my list for now. But yeah,
who's another like obvious one we're forgetting about?
Here's one. Justine.
I don't have her on mine, believe it or not.
Another female.
Another feminoid.
Who I wanted to try to pick a few of those. There are some other big female creators that I personally either don't enjoy their content or I don't think that maybe they've made a little bit of an impact, but not as big as Justine for sure. 5.9 million subs, been around again since like day one, probably like 10, 11 years ago, 13 years ago, 2006. Yeah. Big kind of titan in the tech industry, not even just tech YouTube, but like she's done a lot of things with E3 in the past. She was on like, what is it? There was like a gaming channel on cable at one point. And she was like doing shit with that all the time. I think that she's just one of the people you have to have on the list, like Philip DeFranco and Casey Neistat and all them.
I think, even though I don't like her a whole lot, I think you're right.
Yeah, like I don't watch her content really. I've seen some videos in the past, but I think as a titan, are you agreeing? Are we gonna put her on there?
I think so.
As a titan of YouTube and that legacy again, I think it's important. More important than like Fred, because this is actually quality content.
Sure. So when it comes to the Green brothers, Hank and John Green,
forgot about them. Holy
yeah, you can't
shit.
forget about them. I put two of theirs on here on this list. The one I'm gonna go with though, I'm gonna cut the other one out. I gotta go Vlogbrothers, man. I gotta go that because it's both of them talking about whatever topic, kind of almost formatted like letters to each other.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept.
And it's just been around for so long now that like when I want those two kind of distilled down to their purest form. Because I had Crash Course on there, and why I do think that educational stuff is also really good. I've learned a lot from them. Yeah. It's still very clearly like a show where it has to be professional and it has to be a bunch of information and everything, and that's great. I like the more down to earth Vlogbrothers stuff a little bit more, so that's the one I'm recommending. But yeah, been around since the beginning. Actually had a kind of Patreon type platform before Patreon that then got bought out by Patreon.
Wow.
So yeah, but no, just like pioneers in that field, in that educational sort of field. They're always fascinating to listen to, great to binge on, and just kind of like people who've been around for a good long time.
Yeah, I agree. 3.2 million subs. Definitely not a channel I've spent a whole lot of time watching, but there's been like the occasional video recommended to me and I'll watch it. But I do feel like I could watch more. Like this is one of those channels where it's like, yeah, I could definitely binge a bunch of their shit and be cool with it. Just have it. So yeah, I would
pleasant.
agree. They're also like both successful in their own rights.
On their own, yeah. Like one of them's an author, and one of them does science stuff, I believe.
Yeah. So yeah.
Glad I got them in there.
32 out of 50.
Lord, we haven't even gotten to ranking them yet. We're 2 hours in.
This is insane.
Yeah, it's a big undertaking. Probably should have done like top 30 in retrospect, but
yeah,
there's too many people. There's too many people I don't want to cut out.
Top 30 would be harder.
Yeah, it'd be harder. I gotta go pee, so you talk about the next one, and then
I gotta pee too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a note saying edit at 2 minutes, 2 hours and 11.
Okay. We pee breaking?
I gotta pee too. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put
BRB.
pee break.
Whew. Good Lord. Good Lord. Whew.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I'm glad you said that because I had to go.
I had to pee bad. I had to
Jeez.
drink like a whole thing of tea. So, all right, let me know when we're back.
Okay, and no,
We're back. Pee break has been had.
it's over. All right,
It's good.
the next
Back
one.
to you. Yeah.
Red Letter Media.
Ooh, I forgot about them. Actually, they're not on mine.
A lot of
I
people
forgot,
forget about
Absolutely.
them, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
This is another one that's been like around for a very long time. I think they started their video reviews like early 2000s on their own website.
Yeah.
Came to YouTube. Have taken them forever to get 1 million subscribers, but they recently just hit it. But it's a movie review channel. Solely based around a lot of like obscure movies, a lot of bad movies, and they're just again like one of those with like a cast of characters that is very funny to watch. The Plinkett reviews, best of the worst. They recently added Macaulay Culkin to their lineup of cast, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, he showed up in one video and then he just kind of reappeared randomly in another one. I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. I like this.
He's a recurring character.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that they're.
You can't imagine film YouTube without him. Basically.
I don't think so.
They're a big part of that.
Going on the list.
Okay, so kind of an avenue we haven't touched. I know this one's on your list. We're going into the business, life advice sort of realm. A genre that I don't watch a whole lot, nor do I trust a lot of the opinions of. But if I had to pick one of them, it's Gary V. Coming
Gary
in.
Vaynerchuk himself.
Gary motherfucking V. We've mentioned him several times in this podcast, so it shouldn't be a surprise to any of you longtime listeners. Me and Zach have talked about him an ungodly amount. Yeah, just some of the best, like, not only business advice, but just like life advice that I've ever heard.
For sure.
Before.
100%. I think the coolest thing about Gary is that while he's technically a YouTuber, He has been on YouTube since the inception, since the beginning. Did 1,000 episodes of a podcast called Wine. What's it called? Fuck. It's about wine. He did like 1,000 episodes about wine. He was a very early YouTube adopter. And then he recently also got 1 million subs for the first time in the beginning of 2018. And now he's at like 2.2 million. He's going to be another one of those where it's like in 5 years, he's going to have 10 million subs easy.
Just exponential.
Like it's just going to happen. Yeah, some of the best business advice I think is out there. And
we're covering another genre too. We're getting a little bit more diverse.
He's also just like very easy to listen to, very down to earth. Even if you don't like business, like you could still learn a shit ton from him.
Great to learn about like motivation, hustle, all that sort of stuff.
I agree.
Wonderful. Next up for you.
Okay, I am gonna go a similar route as Gary Vee, a little bit similar. Peter McKinnon.
Yeah, I forgot about him. I've watched everything he's made, and yeah, I forgot to put him on my list.
There are a lot of these kind of educational entrepreneur type people that I watch, and Peter McKinnon is kind of like Casey Neistat and a little bit of Gary Vee put together.
A little bit of Canada.
A little bit of Canada put together. Yeah. Another one of those people that kind of revolutionized a genre, and that's the tutorial genre.
Jesus.
He has put vlogs and tutorials together and makes
beautiful harmony of like really well edited videos. Like some of the best visuals in a vlog I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. If you want to know how to like make videos, watch this dude.
Exactly. Just for inspiration alone, but like for technical advice as well.
That too. 3.8 million subs. Has been around since 3 years. He's only 3 years old as far as the channel, but obviously he's been making videos and movies and shit his entire life. Oh, sure. But yeah, I think that quality there alone and the blow up. I mean, 3 years for 3.8 million.
So quickly. Yeah.
Putting him there?
I agree. Put him on. I've watched all of his shit. I enjoy him a lot. Great personality. This one I'm not going to have a lot to say about, but if I don't mention it, I know I'm going to get crucified in some circles. But I don't watch them a whole lot. Good Mythical Morning.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I forgot
kind of like
this channel existed.
YouTube incarnate. A lot like Philly D. Been around since the beginning. Kind of been more of a talk show this time around with Red and Link. They've been YouTube shows. They've been on the news before. They have a huge ass production crew.
Still
I don't
big.
like them a whole lot. But I know that's just a me thing. I can't deny the impact they've had and how big they still are and how relevant they still are. And if I'm like picking one of the talk show YouTubers, Good Mythical Morning.
Yeah, this is definitely a channel which I have not watched really at all. I've seen maybe 1 or 2 videos. I think I could enjoy them. I honestly think it's like a channel I could watch on a regular basis, but there's so much YouTube.
I've never had the time.
There's not a possibility to do that.
I've never had the time.
Yeah, 10 years ago they started 15.6 million subscribers. Still doing about 1 million views per video. I see them on the trending tab a lot.
They are very high up there.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to agree.
I can't say much about them because I don't watch them, but there you go.
Right.
For anybody who wanted it, there it is.
I have a feeling some of these YouTubers, possibly this one as well, we're going to get to the point where like we get to the top 50 and we're going to have like 60 or 70 here on this list. And we're going to be like, fuck, who are we going to cut? We're probably going to have to start going into biases a little bit, but...
Yeah. I'm trying to still, if there's like any big ones I have, I'm trying to get them out now.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I do not want to not mention them.
I'll go back to that old school again. Shane Dawson.
Not on my list, believe it or
not. Shane Dawson's another one of those where it's like I never watched for a very long time. He started in another one of those older ones like 2006, 2008 kind of deal. 9 years ago. A lot of content here that's just not for me. But a couple years ago, started putting out these documentaries. Kind of documentaries. It's almost like vlog mixed with documentaries, mixed with commentary. And it's just interesting to watch.
I concur.
Did an entire 8-part series about Jake Paul. And I don't care about Jake Paul, but I watched it for some reason.
Me neither.
And it was interesting. I like the editing and all that kind of stuff. 22 million subscribers. I think that he is definitely... He doesn't have as many subs as like a PewDiePie, but I think he is as popular as PewDiePie, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure. If we're talking influence, sure.
Yeah. So I think he deserves to be on the list.
I concur. We're going to have to get to this eventually. Smosh.
True. Forgot about Smosh. Forgot they exist too.
Like, they were the big #1 right before PewDiePie kind of hit.
They were. That's true.
They're still relevant today. One of them is split off, obviously, but the regular Smosh thing is still going on.
They're still putting out videos, yeah. Wow.
Anthony and Ian, in particular, are just like kind of that Wonder Twin dynamic, if you will. That like when they were at it,
channels.
they were at it, and when they weren't, they weren't. We've all watched a Smosh video like once or twice in our lives before. It's definitely the kind of content that I've grown out to. Never, ever.
Mm-hmm. I think I've seen like one Smosh Games video.
Sure. They're like hard to ignore. They're hard to avoid.
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel like, yeah, they have to be on the list.
Right? Like.
Because even though, like, personally, I don't think they appeal to me at all, but I feel like that legacy is there. They're still relevant. I can't speak much about the quality.
Oh, yeah.
That would be the hardest thing.
May have gotten better.
It may have gotten better. But I think for now, they would have to go on the list.
Yep. Whew. 12 more. You better be finding some good ones now.
12, 13.
This is like, if you don't mention this, you're going to be scarred for life.
I've got 18 right now on this list.
How many do I have?
So, I guess I want to start bringing out the big ones still. I mean, there's still some big ones here that I've not brought up.
I have 22.
Okay.
So, but I haven't cut a lot of personal ones yet, like you have.
I think we should keep listing them off.
Sure.
Even if it goes over 50, I think we should just keep listing them off. And then,
I know I'm going to cut a lot of these personally.
Right. There's still a few of these I'm going to cut. Maybe we can do like honorable mentions or something.
We'll do like a little deal.
But
I just don't want to go over like 4 hours.
Right, I don't either. Okay. Lindsay Sterling.
Ooh, I don't know who she is.
She is a musician. Another one of those big, like, another one of those older YouTubers that kind of went mainstream, and now like she has a professional career doing violin music and shit. You've got it.
I've probably seen it. I just didn't know.
Like video game music with violin.
Oh, sure,
like,
sure.
This kind of thing.
Sure.
Again, another one of the biggest female creators on the platform. Another one of those. And I mean, like, millions, 200 million views, 100 million views. Like, it's just wild. And I think she's still pretty relevant today. 11 million subs, put on a video a month ago. Last one before that was 6 months ago. So it's like her videos take a long time to make. But I think in the musician world, as far as quality goes, definitely one of the best.
Fair enough. I'll agree.
All
right. So out of all these that I'm looking at, the one that needs to be on here next is Nakey Jakey.
I agree.
And I don't feel bad in saying that, because even though he is another video game boy, in terms of like presentation styles, and how his videos are put together, they're one of a kind.
I agree.
Like,
yeah, 100%.
It's no one can do Nakey Jakey like Nakey Jakey, and it's that uniqueness that really appeals to me. And it's also like very, very personable. Very like he'll talk about a video game, but he'll also talk about like the book fair or a Pizza Hut or a Disney Channel original movie. Like it's just him. It's just him a lot of the times. And while the video game stuff is obviously like really good, it's that uniqueness, it's that personality. It's the way in which he produces his content. It's like taking your personality and just monetizing it in such a pitch perfect way. I love that. I love that about him.
Nakey Jakey is the epitome of early 2000s nostalgia.
Yeah. He kind of looks like it too. He kind of looks like an early 2000s boy.
He does. I mean, he talks about like our childhood. Yeah. In a lot of different ways. But yeah, you're right. His presentation alongside his personality is they're almost one and the same. He's in front of a green screen on a fucking like what's it called? An exercise ball with a small MIDI piano. Just kind of talking about something, and in the background you see like, here's a clip to this Disney original movie called Horse Sense, and it's just like 3 seconds of it for some reason. That's in the video.
Every damn video. Every damn video.
It's just like used as a transition, and that
million subs, so many great videos.
What's funny is my favorite video by him is called Dark Souls Saved Me. It's a 9-minute, 32-second video of him just in bed talking to the camera, and it's one of the best videos.
Just so transparent about everything he does.
Yeah. 1.1 million views or subs. Joined in 2015. I'd say his last like 30 videos are the shit that you're going to want to watch for him. But he has some older shit that is still worth watching as well.
Concur.
Yeah, he's on my list too. So I agree.
Next for you.
iDubbbz.
He's not on mine. I forgot about him. I'm glad you brought him up.
He's not on yours?
He's not. I forgot, though. I'm a forgetful Mary.
I understand. So iDubbbz is another one of those commentary channels like H3H3. A little bit more edgier. In some ways funnier, IMO.
Yeah, depending.
I think the series he's most well known for is Content Cop, where he basically starts drama with a YouTuber like talking about their shitty content.
Sure.
Did one on Jake Paul, did one on Leafy, Tana Montague. Like these are getting like 20, 37, 44 million views. But then after that, his bad unboxing videos where he unboxes a bunch of shitty fan mail is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he's still pretty relevant at 7.5 million subscribers because his most recent video was on trending. It's called Full Force. And it's a 52-minute documentary about this like other YouTuber that I've never heard of before. He's called Airsoft Fatty. And it's just like this fat kid in like the middle of nowhere. And iDubbbz goes to his house and he like looks at this dude's life, and it's very interesting. And apparently he wants to do more of this in the future. So I think he's only going to continue to grow, and in a similar format as like Shane Dawson with his documentaries, just a little bit more edgier.
I concur. I love him to death.
Me too.
Cool. 9 more. Shit. I'm gonna go with a bit of an oddball one. Maybe one that I maybe shouldn't have mentioned, but we'll go for it. Have you heard of Captain Christian?
I have not.
Both with K's. So, this is a video essay boy. Kind of covering a variety of shit.
I've already seen like 2 videos I'm interested in. Fuck. There's so many of these like video essay people that I just keep running into, and they're all good.
So here's like 2 of my things about them. Obviously, number 1, good lord, these thumbnails.
Jeez, they're so good.
Look how good these fucking thumbnails are. Like, stop what you're doing and look at these. My personal favorites are the Superman one, the X-Men one.
Jeez.
the Walt Disney one. But they're all like, God, like way to take down the essence of one thing and just make the perfect thumbnail for what that is. Like these are Netflix icons, you know?
Yeah, they are. I just
like,
put like
God.
5 of these in my watch later. Oh.
Number 2, the presentation of it, like when you go into the actual videos themselves, are also like very striking and very well done.
A lot of motion graphics, I'm assuming.
A lot of motion graphics, a lot of movement, and that kind of, as you can see, that television mid-90s aesthetic that I appreciate as well. Very calm, very laid-back voice. Just talking about like good shit. Just shit I like. I haven't seen all of it. But again, the Superman video, the Adult Swim video, the X-Men one, the David Fincher one is pretty good. Just a lot of winners here. The thumbnails alone suck you in, but the content itself is also really good. Only at 500,000 subs. Seen him since the beginning. He's only been around since March 2016, but I really want to see him grow as well. So, out of all the video essays, shit that I've seen, this guy is like best of the best. IMO.
Oh man, yeah. Like I agree. I mean, I would have to agree with you just by looking at it from a distance. Like this is
So
shit I'm
beautiful.
interested in, 100%. My problem is like with these video essay channels, like a lot of them are really good. And I just keep finding more and more of them that are just kind of coming up and making these interesting videos. And then it really just kind of comes down to presentation and writing. As to who's the best, right?
I have one specifically for writing.
Okay.
This is the presentation one.
Cool. I mean, I'm cool with putting him down.
Okay.
I really think I would like him.
Awesome. But I had to get him out of the way because I need people to see this shit.
For sure.
Even if we don't put him high, I just want people to check out this channel in general.
For sure.
All right. 8 more, 7 more. Oh.
So, Scott the Waz, man.
He's on mine.
Scott the Waz.
He was gonna be like toward the bottom. I'm gonna put him at like 49 and 50.
Right. Right. For
but
sure.
Damn.
There's not like Scott the Waz. We've talked about him on the podcast before, just because of like how much he's grown recently. But he started in 2012, really. But like his current style of content started, I want to say 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He puts out video game related content again, but it's another one of those where it's like his presentation, his style of humor, I think is the thing that I would put him the best at. He's just a very distinct style of humor, and it's his. And he does it well, and he does it consistently every single fucking week. Every Sunday.
He's on it.
670,000 subs. He had like 7,000 subs at the beginning of last year.
Mm-hmm.
So he has grown a lot. He's definitely deserved it. I've seen him on trending a couple of times. I think that he's definitely going to be like million sub boy by the end of next year. 5 million subs in like 5 years.
I introduced him to you.
You did.
Yeah. So I enjoyed him. Like, yo, you should check out this dude. And he was still kind of small back then, even when I introduced him to you. But when I first saw him, he was like even smaller.
Damn.
And I was just like, man, I know where this shit's going immediately when I saw that first video.
Yeah, because when you introduced me to him, he was on the Gaming on the Rise channel thing on like the trending page.
Hell yeah.
And so like people just started subbing to him. Because
he's fantastic.
Everything he puts out is good.
I agree. Yeah, put him on. Not big right now, but certainly will be in the next couple of years.
For sure.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have to. I was gonna say Wisecrack here, and I do like Wisecrack a lot. But the one that I'm gonna go over him is Every Frame of Painting.
I
agree.
So here's the thing.
I've only seen 1 or 2 of this dude's videos, but like
they're all great. I've seen most of them.
Good God.
Wisecrack is
He's
also
my writing
good.
choice.
Was also on my list. Here's the issue with Every Frame of Painting right now.
They're not posting anymore. Yeah.
He's not doing any more videos, like
That's true.
ever. The channel's just kind of done,
They're so damn good.
which is very unfortunate because there's like 30 videos here, maybe less. They're all really good. He's got one about Marvel Cinematic Universe music. He's a Akira Kurosawa composing movement video is so good. The writing is really, really good. And I would like to offer an alternative channel that's very similar, that's still putting out videos, if that's cool with you. And that's
sure,
Nerdwriter.
Pitch it. I had Nerdwriter originally.
Okay.
But he got cut somewhere in my process.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I
like him a lot.
Okay.
I think I'm okay with putting him on there just simply because he's more active.
Yeah. I mean, I like Every Frame of Painting too. That one's hard. Because it's like, what do we do about something like that where they're just like not posting anymore?
I think the content alone is why I put it here, not so much he was active.
That's fair.
But like, I understand, like, you don't want to sub to somebody who isn't doing anything anymore.
Right, but even then, I'd still recommend these videos, right?
We'll put Nerdwriter though.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
Because I like both.
I like him a lot too. I just think that's a safer bet.
Okay. Wisecrack's also good, but
yeah, but I'm out of the three, he's my least favorite. So
that's fair. Yeah.
Okay. 5, 6 more.
There's like 7 of these that are really good. Okay.
I'm gonna have enough and then cut the rest. I feel the rest of these I'm okay with cutting on mine, honestly.
Okay, I would like to hear them though.
Yeah, I'll give him a shout out. But who's next for you?
Internet comment etiquette.
Ooh, forgot him too. Damn.
So
I got the good picks.
I only watch quality content.
Apparently, I love this dude. Like, I don't know, I don't remember these things.
He's great. Another one of my favorite creators on the platform. He has been doing it for 4 years, and I feel like every single one of his videos are still worth watching. I'm trying to figure out how to explain his content.
Yeah.
It's very comedy based. It's a bit edgy. But like, I don't know. The dude went as far as to make like a fucking fake British television show for an advertisement for what's it called? VPN. NordVPN. Yeah, like an entire fucking like, I think it's like 30 minutes long or something like that. I found him through another one of my picks, but he shows up on the H3 podcast a lot. He's funny on there. He's just another genuinely good dude. And he's got so many like original gags and all kinds of shit he does in his videos that I really like.
I agree. Put him on.
Alright.
Okay. This was one of them that was always going to be mentioned and brought on, but I kind of held back a little bit just because we were doing a lot of game stuff. My next pick is Extra Credits.
Oh, wow. That's another one I forgot about.
Yeah. In terms of game design stuff and all these game design channels, which there are a lot of good ones. Game Maker's Toolkit was also on my list, but I cut it out in favor of this. Extra Credits has been doing it longer. They've been doing quality game design stuff for like, good God, almost 10 years. They have changed hosts, but the old one does like a Let's Play channel now, but it's like the most relaxed Let's Play channel ever called Playframe. He also has like an animation channel too that's also really good. But like Extra Credits itself, the main channel, really good game design stuff, kind of got my brain turning on a lot of those topics and gears and kind of forms a lot of the foundation of what I know. And stuff that I mentioned in Back to the Video Games and other game debate arguments. A lot of that info came from Extra Credits. Just really smart, really informative, nice little funny animation here and there. And some people might like the new host too, because it's not like voice pitched at all. So Now's
Yeah.
the best time to jump aboard. I don't care for it, actually. I like the older host more. So I'm
Really?
weird. But most people, you'll probably like that one. But yeah, they've been around for forever. Like their shit a lot. Out of all the game design boys, I had to go with them.
Yeah, 7 years. I probably watched like 50 videos from them like about 4 years ago. Just kind of watched a shit ton of their content immediately. What's interesting to me is that they do a bunch of history stuff on this channel now too.
Oh, so good.
And those are actually their most viewed videos, which is wild.
They're so good.
But I'm betting they're good. It's like the research and everything behind them are really what brings you into this. And yeah, one of the best, if not the best, game dev channels on YouTube. 2.1 million subs. I mean, I agree. I forgot about them, but yeah, I'd agree.
Cool.
Put them on there. All right. I'm gonna have to go with Jack's Films.
Yeah, I figured that one was coming. I didn't put him on there because I knew you probably would.
Yeah.
So I saved myself the spot.
It's like him, H3H3, Internet Comment Etiquette are just like iDubbbz.
The Holy Trinity.
They're like in this circle of just like really good comedy YouTubers.
Yeah, we mentioned H3 early, but the other three like, kind of got stuck at the end for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I had a lot of this alphabetized, and that was why. But yeah, Jack's Films is another old school YouTuber. Been around since fucking 2007, 2008. 4.6 million subs. About 3 years ago, he did a little segment on one of his shows called Yai. Yesterday, I Asked You. And that became basically his pillar content after that because it was so popular. But he still experiments. Like, he still experiments a lot. And that's one of the reasons I really appreciate his content. Again, funny dude. Started a lot of memes. Some people don't like that about him, but I think it's pretty funny. I feel like he's very self-aware in a good way. I
concur.
He a big boy. I'll put him on there.
You big boy. We kind of mentioned this earlier, I guess. But how do you feel about Egoraptor the channel being on this?
I'm mixed on it, right?
I'm bringing it up for conversation because we brought it up earlier. I kind of know where you're going now.
I'm very mixed on it, and it sucks because there's so much good animation shit from early YouTube.
Yeah.
That's just kind of...
He was my old animator, and Jane was my new one.
Like, they're not relevant anymore. They weren't able to continue making videos because YouTube just, like, shut their content down for a long time. Because it takes so long to put it out there. But, I mean, Aaron Hansen's been doing YouTube for 12 years. And he started doing shit on, like, Newgrounds. And, like, he is definitely one of the most successful people off of YouTube. In many ways. Now, they did put out a few videos on the channel, but they're Starbomb related.
Right.
So it's like... And they're not even animated by Aaron. So, like, his last animated thing that he did was... Sequelitis 5 years ago.
Wow.
The Zelda one, which is one of my all-time favorite videos. And I'm going to watch that again later. But it would be hard for me to say. I feel like with Game Grumps, he is more prevalent in that for sure. And I think that having that on the list is good.
Kind of represents it, you think?
I feel like it. I feel like it.
Okay. I think I agree with you.
Okay.
But I figured I'd go ahead and put it out there at the very least to see what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah. But I mean, it's still good content. Like, really good
Absolutely.
content. Like, go watch it if you haven't seen Egoraptor.
Absolutely.
I'm still subscribed to him.
I probably am too, actually.
So. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it to... I'm only going to pick one out of this category just because I feel like that's probably the smartest thing to do. I'm going to go to the anime community right quick.
I do have one anime boy.
You do? Go ahead and
I
say
don't
it.
know
I'm
if it's the
interested.
same
I'm interested in who you
anime
got.
one. Say yours first.
Well, because I was going to mention a couple and then kind of figure out which one I wanted to go for sure.
Go ahead.
So, the Anime Man is probably the biggest one. And is that the one you had?
Not my pick.
No. Okay.
I know who you're talking about.
Love his content. Watch it regularly. I think he is the biggest anime YouTuber. Mother's Basement is another one that's pretty big. Definitely.
Almost put him on here.
Definitely better in the writing aspect of things. Like, he has really thought-provoking anime-related content.
Got real close.
Super iPotch Wolf is another one of them that is a little lesser known, but makes some of the best video, some of my favorite videos. And I just found him out recently, but I'm gonna go with Giguk.
Wow, good pick.
Is that the one you picked?
Nope.
No. Okay. Interesting.
No.
Have you seen Giguk before?
I've heard of him. Yeah, I've heard of all three of them.
Okay.
They're all really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
either of them, I would have gone with any of them.
yeah, I think that they all three could go on this list. I think they're all definitely top 100 for me. But if I'm going to go with one, I'm going to go with Giguk because he has the writing down. He has the visual style down. There's like some informative shit. There's some more opinion-based shit. His humor is solid. And I think he's probably my favorite anime YouTuber if I was to pick one.
I got you. Mine was Glass Reflection.
That's another one I thought about, yeah.
Yeah. And I haven't watched him in a long time, but there was a solid period, I believe, where I was just all into him.
Really? That's interesting.
So when I thought of anime shit, I thought him. Nowadays, I probably watch more Mother's Basement than anything.
Yeah.
But he just does like a variety of stuff anyway, and we already had like kind of a lot of reviewers on
Yeah.
him. Whereas I felt like if I'm talking the anime guy, this was the dude I went to for the longest time. But no, I like your Giguk pick. I think that's a better representation. I also think he's a little bit more relevant too. So
cool. I would also like Glass Reflection's another solid anime YouTuber. If you're looking for any of them, like those are really good ones.
yeah. But we had to give a shout out to all the anime people.
But yeah, just because I knew we were not gonna put all those on this list at all.
No, not with where we were at. Absolutely not. Okay, so looking at the remaining ones, it seems like I have one good pick left. Because the rest of these I don't mind cutting. If there's one that I have to have on here, I'm gonna go with LGR. Lazy Game Reviews, specifically. Have you heard of this channel?
I don't know this one at all.
You probably have search it up. See if you have
right now, yeah.
heard of any of this.
Okay, is he? He doesn't do gaming historian as well, does he?
No, that's a different dude.
Okay.
He's really good too, though. Norm.
Yeah. Huh.
So this dude was kind of the PC kind of game dude for a while. But then in recent years, it's kind of shifted more to just retro technology. And that's what I really like about him. Like really old 90s laptops, really old tablets, MIDI stuff, looking at ads from like the 2000s, like Best Buy ads, early digital cameras, IBM compatibles, just like anything in the old 90s computer world, whether it's games or hardware or whatever. Chances are he's covered it before. And I've just over the past 2 years, I believe, a year or two, I've just fallen in love with his production quality, his style, and just the fact that, like, in terms of, like, people covering retro technology, like, sure, he does game stuff, obviously, but it's that aspect about it that I don't see done nearly as well.
Yeah, this is cool.
And he's been around forever, too. Like, you could go back. I haven't watched a lot of his older content, but the newer stuff especially is really good stuff. He just passed 1 million subs rather recently. He has a Patreon as well. I recommend checking out some of the older hardware stuff, or like pick a game review if there's one that really interests you.
Yeah, 1.1 million.
But I had
subs,
to have him on here.
11 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take your word for it. Yeah, I've never even heard of him, which is
really.
Yeah. Well, it's so wild because like there are thousands of channels with 1 million subs now, right?
Yeah.
It's wild. But his most recent video is called LGR Oddware, the 1997 Audible mobile player system.
That
it's
Audible,
like,
by the way.
I'm like, what?
The Audible, like audible.com.
Yeah.
Audible. Same thing. This is their first product.
Like,
ever.
that is wild. And he's got one, like, to review. That's cool.
Crazy. I love his shit. I had to have him on here.
Jeez, man. Finding new
And
shit
the rest of
all
these,
the time.
I'm just gonna go ahead and mention them, the ones that didn't make the cut before you do your
Okay,
last
go
one.
for it.
And some of these you might want to have on here and replace it with somebody else. That's cool. But I'll go ahead and gone through the ones that I cut. Jaywitz, kind of a Pokemon guy, but has since turned into all sorts of game stuff. I didn't want to put another Game Boy, so I kind of left them off. Rebel Taxi does a lot of Western cartoons, really kind of perverted, kind of a wild sense of humor, but production values is there, obviously. Game Theory got cut. I just couldn't put myself to put it on there because I don't like his content.
Okay.
But the legacy thing was definitely going there. I know they're kind of legacy one, but I haven't seen enough of their stuff. Slow-mo guys. Kind of legacy YouTube to put there. Who's next? Channel Awesome. Didn't put them all the way because of some of the controversies they've been associated with. But as far as like Nostalgia Critic and stuff goes, kind of an older school bunch. Super Mega.
Yeah.
I had Game Grumps and all the other Let's Play. I couldn't.
For sure.
But I love them to death. Rich Alvarez, they did all the stupid Mario Brothers stuff. That was kind of a personal thing.
I don't know who that one
but
is.
When I think back to early YouTube, they were a part of my deal. Smooth McGroove.
Yes.
Another video game one.
Oh, he's so
Acapella.
good.
Couldn't quite put him on here. And then finally, the Joe Rogan Experience. I haven't seen or heard an episode of it at all, but I know it's pretty popular and relevant. It's like 1,000 episodes. There's one with Bernie Sanders.
It's good.
So.
It's good. I've listened to a few episodes. It's good.
But those were the ones for me that didn't make a cut. If any of those sound like you have to have them on here, that's cool. But I'm okay with not having any of them. So
the only one of those that I had written down, and a lot of those are really good, and a few of those I actually had thought about. The only one I have written down is Game Theory. Just because of, I mean, I've watched a lot of Game Theory over the years, so there's a little bit of personal bias, but they're also like massive. They have Film Theory underneath the same, thing.
They're huge.
They're on trending a lot. I think as far as gaming content goes, they're probably some of the best produced shit. But I can definitely see how like some people don't like their style.
No. And I definitely think we have a lot of gaming stuff that I prefer on this list.
We do have a lot of gaming stuff. I think I agree. I think I agree actually. Yeah. Top 100 maybe, top 50 maybe not.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, what about you?
I'm cool with
What's
that.
your final pick, and then what didn't make the cut?
Okay. Fuck, dude. All right. I'm going to go with...
Have to have. It could be personal, whatever. Like, you have to talk about it.
Let me think about this. All right. I'm going to go with... Because I have a couple other video Game Boys, but I'm going to leave those alone. I'm going to go with Matt Diavella.
Oh, man. What a winner. What a winner pick you just threw. I
You
love
like him?
this channel.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
I love this channel.
Cool.
I'm so happy you went with that one.
So,
Absolutely.
Matt Diavella is a... he's very well known for his minimalism. He's a minimalist, and he's talked about that a lot. But he's also a filmmaker. For the entire past year, every single month, he's done a challenge. So, recently, he quit caffeine for 30 days. He did a 30 days of journaling, 30 days of meditating for an hour, 30 days of waking up at 5 a.m. Like, all these, like, life hacks. Right. But, like, not only are they very interesting to hear, very interesting to watch, he's also got a podcast that's really good. He's got really quality content. Like, the content itself is really well produced and shot and all that kind of stuff. But he's kind of on the rise right now. Been around for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Started doing videos regularly 2 years ago. But, like, just in the last week alone, I watched a video of his. I watched a video of him on another channel called Thomas Frank, who I also had written down on the list. He's another kind of productivity dude. I've seen Matt Diavella on Gary Vee recently. He was on another smaller channel of a dude named Tyler Babin, who actually got the position for the Adobe Creative Residency that I applied for.
Really?
Yeah, he worked with Gary Vee for like a year and a half, and then he got that position, and he stopped working with Gary. Yeah, but super talented dude as well. But Matt Diavella was on his show as recently. So yeah, I think that he's gonna be really big.
Such a good pick.
And I really like his content.
All right, what's getting cut?
Cool. Cut? So, I just mentioned a couple of them, but Wisecrack was on my list. Along the same lines of like Every Frame of Painting and Nerdwriter, I had Mr. Amazing, who is a pretty big dude now. I think he's got over 100,000 or something, 292,000. I actually do research for him, but he makes really well like produced like those kind of video essay videos. Volksgeist, who does music related video essays, a lot of like hip hop type stuff. I had Jack Conti, who is the what is it called? The CEO of Patreon. He created Patreon, but he makes really talented fucking videos. Couple more video game boys. Video Game Donkey.
Poor Donkey.
Which it's like I want to put him on the list. I honestly do.
He's in the Nakey Jakey spot for me. Like it's him or Donkey.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I like Jakey a little bit more.
That's fair. No, I get that. But it's like that's another person I watch every single video he puts out. Northern Lion is another video gamer. Does a lot of Let's Plays, but he's really well known for the Binding of Isaac series. Mm-hmm. There's just not enough. He's not big enough for him to make this list, which makes me sad. And then Indie Mouse, who is another one of the gamers that is in the circle of Northern Lion and is kind of on the come up, but we have so many gaming guys.
We do.
Oh,
it's so hard.
Here's another one that I think really does deserve to be on the list, Nerd City.
I don't watch them a whole lot.
Okay.
I don't know a whole lot about them. A lot of what you threw out I don't know, actually.
That's fair. Nerd City is at 676,000 subs. Doesn't
they
have...
the merch guys?
They are the merch guys.
Okay, yeah, I know who you are. Okay.
Yeah, really well produced, really well edited, cool visual effects, some acting.
Same character. It's pretty epic.
All kinds of shit. But yeah, those are the picks that didn't make it.
Wow.
And then
look at these 50.
It's crazy.
These 50. These are the 50, I think.
Yeah.
You put a really nice list together.
I think what's insane about YouTube is that there's literally another 50 YouTubers that I could be like, I watch everything they put out.
Yep. We cut a lot to get
I've seen so much YouTube over the last few years. And it's like so many good creators out there. Top 50 is hard.
I agree.
Satchel Drakes.
Yeah, he was another one. He didn't post enough.
He doesn't put enough out.
Yeah. Did you know gaming? I thought about.
Did you know gaming?
Wasn't quite enough.
There's like so Dave Ramsey and Graham Stephan are like two finance dudes that I watch a lot, and they're really good. But it's like the relevance isn't necessarily there, even though it should be because it's like about your finances. But you know.
Right. Well.
But you know.
So much for that.
That's what it is. Yeah. There's so much. We didn't even talk about like comic book channels. There's a couple of really good ones of those.
We still missed so many genres. We didn't put a single feet YouTuber on here.
Man. All right, I'm writing it down right now.
Or a mukbang channel. We didn't put no
feet
mukbang
channel
on here.
Oh, Blue Cash Productions. Let's go.
Hell yeah, number 51.
And like, yeah, there's a lot of big vloggers that you could argue should be on this list. Superwoman, I thought about. Even though I don't personally like her content. The Try Guys, who came from BuzzFeed. You said Slow Mo Guys. Drew Gooden and what's his name? What's the other one? Does like similar content to him. They're like friends. Danny Gonzalez. They came from Vine.
Hmm.
Some people would say James Charles. Like, I mean, Vine Brothers. There's so many of these big channels that we just didn't talk about.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of this is...
I think another, like, really cool thing that, like, this opened me up to a lot was just, like, how many cool YouTubers both me and you watch that we have not told each other about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool, too.
Oh, you didn't know about LGR? Oh, you didn't know about Exerbia? Oh, you didn't know about, like, all these, you know, like, multiple times throughout the system, like, man, you should have told me about this shit. This looks really cool. But it's never come up before. And this list is kind of like, hey, I really, really like this shit. You should watch more of it. So.
Yeah, I think it's also cool being like, oh, you watch Matt Diavella and Peter McKinnon, everything they put out? That's dope. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So do I.
Or like, I forgot so many, and you brought a lot of them up. I'm really glad you were here to like.
Yeah,
kind of
you picked some of mine that I forgot too. So yeah, it's like cool. Okay.
So the next 3 hours of this podcast is going to be ranking.
Okay, so here's what I want to suggest. Okay. I think we should go through these 50 one by one, and we should say top 25, bottom 25.
Okay.
And then not necessarily get a set 25 for each of those, but like try to do that. Be like, who's the top 25, who's the bottom 25, and go from there.
Okay. Let's do it.
So.
This is where we're going to have disagreements, because some of them, like...
some of them you don't know, some of them I don't know, so it's
but
like...
how far up or down, right? Like, we don't know.
Right.
All right, let's do it. Let's go through them.
Or should we do top, middle, bottom?
Well, that's what we're doing, right? Top 25, bottom 25. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Anna Akana.
Bottom for me. Don't know her.
You would put her in the bottom? Okay. I would put her in the top, so I'm going to make a middle category because I saw this coming.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Cinema Scare.
Cinemassacre. Top for me.
You would put it in top?
Yeah, legacy alone, but also really good content now.
Okay, I would personally put it towards the middle, but probably like middle top. So I'm gonna put it in the middle. Is that cool?
Okay, fine by me.
Austin McConnell.
Bottom.
That's fair. I agree. John Tron.
Top still.
I'd put him in top.
On top of his game, 100%.
Bill Wirtz.
Bottom probably.
I would personally put him in bottom. Yeah. The Needle Drop.
Top.
You put him in top? Okay.
Still consistent.
I think so too. I think that's another like top, like middle, the top of the middle, but I'll put him in top.
You can do middle. Do middle.
Okay, I'll put him in middle.
Do middle.
Boogie 2988.
Middle.
That's a middle for me.
Yeah.
Jaden Animations.
Bottom.
Okay, I agree.
Love her stuff, but can't go that high.
Jello Apocalypse.
Also bottom, probably.
I would agree. H3 Productions.
Bottom?
Really?
Probably. Only because I'm going to say the podcast is top. That's my rationale for it.
Okay.
I just think the podcast is going to be more on the up and up.
I think so too. I'm going to put it in the middle for now.
Okay.
And then I will agree with the podcast on top.
Podcast top.
Captain Disillusion.
Bottom because I don't know him. I have to.
That's fair. I still think he's like top tier YouTubers, but I'm cool with putting him on the bottom because he needs more recognition. Anyways, MKBHD.
Top.
I'll be okay with that. Yeah. Ella the Mills. You don't know.
Don't know her. Bottom.
I'll put it on bottom for now. PewDiePie.
It's got to be like top 10.
It's top. I think it's top 10. I honestly do.
Yeah.
Do you want to do like a?
No. We're fine.
No. Okay. Casey Neistat.
Bottom.
Really?
I just don't watch him a lot. Is my thing.
Okay, that's fair. I'm gonna put him in the middle.
Did, maybe. Who knows?
Vsauce.
Top net for net.
I'd put him in top. Higa.
Bottom.
I'd put him in bottom. Game Grumps.
Top.
Same. Aichi.
Top.
I agree. Ralph the Movie Maker.
Top, I guess. If I put IHE there, might as well.
Yeah. The Completionist.
I can't put him that high. Middle or bottom?
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in bottom.
Okay.
Love him. Watch almost everything he puts out, but Mr. Beast.
Bottom because he's not there yet.
I agree. First We Feast.
Bottom because I don't watch all their stuff.
Okay. I think I would put it... I think bottom is fair because we watch like one main series from them.
Sure.
Bon Appetit.
Top for me. Probably not for you.
I'll put it in middle for now.
Okay.
Just because I've never seen him. Exerbia. You don't know him. I'll put him in
Middle.
bottom. Or middle.
Or
I'll put him
bottom.
Let me think.
Whatever. However you want to do it.
I'll put him in middle. Philip DeFranco.
That's a tough one. I can't predict that.
I agree.
I can't predict that.
I think...
Probably middle.
I think he's top 25, but it would be like closer to the bottom 25.
Middle.
Jablinski Games.
Bottom. I can't put him in top 25.
I agree.
Yeah.
Markiplier.
Probably gonna be in the top 25.
I think so. I think Jacksepticeye is right there too.
Probably, yeah.
iJustine.
Not for me. Bottom for me.
Yeah, I would put it bottom. Vlog Brothers.
Bottom for me.
I agree. Red Letter Media.
Top.
That's a top for me too.
Yeah.
Gary V.
Middle.
I agree. Peter McKinnon.
On the up and up. But
I'll put him in
there
the middle
yet.
as well.
Yeah.
Good Mythical Morning.
Bottom for me.
I'd put him in bottom.
The next two are bottoms for me.
Shane Dawson and Smosh. I'm gonna put Shane Dawson in middle and Smosh in bottom.
Bottom for her as well.
Lindsay Sterling. I'll put her on bottom. That's fine. Nikki Jakey is a
Middle?
top for me, but also middle top. All right. iDubbbz.
Top.
I'd put him at top. Captain Christian.
Middle. Best
Okay.
I could say.
Scott the Wise.
Bottom, because not yet.
That's fair.
Give it a couple years.
Nerd Writer.
Bottom.
Okay. Internet Comment Etiquette.
Middle or bottom?
Okay, I'll put him in the middle. Extra credits.
Top? For me.
Really? Okay.
For me.
You
You could disagree.
I'd put him in middle,
Okay.
personally, but we can talk. Jack's Films.
Middle.
Okay. Gigic.
Bottom.
Put it in bottom 2. LGR.
Bottom.
Bottom. And Matt
bottom.
Diavella.
Yeah, bottom.
You put him in bottom 2? I'm going to put him in middle,
Okay. It's fine.
since we don't completely agree.
Just not a
Okay.
top 25 for me.
Right. Okay, so we have a top 13.
Okay. We out here.
Let's hold off on the top
And work bottom. Let's do bottom.
and start with bottom.
All right, who's 50? Who here's a 50 right now?
Well, let's see.
It's got to be like one of these bigger boys, right?
I think so. One of the older ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Like one that just like kind of snuck in, but neither of us like really cared for. I think
So-
for me in my list, it's a Nigahiga, it's a Good Mythical Morning, it's a Smosh. It's one of those three.
Okay. And for me and my list, it's like probably iJustine,
I'd put
Lindsay
Lindsay
Sterling.
as a 50. Yeah.
Well, there is our bottom 5. Cool.
So at number 50, we have Smosh, 49, Good Mythical Morning, 48, Lindsay Sterling, 47, Nigahiga, 46, iJustine. And I definitely feel like these were kind of the ones that we had to do, but like didn't necessarily care for them.
These are all legacy creators. Been around for 10 years or more.
Had to crack it.
Been really big. We've all watched something of theirs in the past. But they got to be in the top 50.
I agree.
Yeah. So
let's see.
these are the ones that I recommended, the ones Aden recommended that we think are in the bottom 25.
And it's weird because like your half, I don't think I've seen any of.
I've seen
most of
everything
it.
of yours except for LGR.
True. Right.
Right.
So, like,
Wildly different.
all
All
really
these are
quality,
wildly different.
yeah, they're all really quality. Sure. So at 45 we have Ella Mills, 44 Vlog Brothers, 43 Jablinski Games, 42 First We Feast, 41 Gigic, and 40 LGR. Kind of the bottom recommendations on our list for sure. The ones that kind of snuck in a little bit. And a couple of old timers as well, like Vlog Brothers, but mostly ones that just kind of like snuck it in through there. So good shit though.
I think so. Yeah. And this is difficult.
Yeah, now we're getting into hard shit. The top 25 is going to be insane, so this is kind of ramping up.
Cool. All right. So 35 through 40. through 39.
40 we have LGR, 39 Mr. Beast, 38 Austin McConnell, 37 Jaden Animations, 36 Captain Delusion, and 35 Nerd Rider. We'll save the next 5 for later.
Cool. All right. This middle group is the biggest.
Yeah, the middles.
All right. So I'm going through, for our listeners, I'm going through the ones that we both had on our list. Did you have Peter McKinnon on yours?
I did not, but I
But
would in retrospect.
What about Shane Dawson?
I didn't know. So, at 35, we had Nerd Rider. 34, Bill Wirtz. 33, Scott the Waz. 32, Jello Apocalypse. 31, The Completionist. And coming in at 30 is Extra Credits. We could put him a little bit lower, I think.
I think so too, honestly.
29, Exerbia. 28, Captain Christian. 27, Anna Akana. 26, Bon Appetit. 25, Shane Dawson. And 24, Boogie. So Shane is right in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, I think that works. I think Boogie being in top 25 is good too.
Yeah. I feel like Extra Credits we can move down a little bit. The rest of these
Extra Credits I would personally put under like Scott.
I put him right around Scott, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Above Scott or under?
Either or.
Okay.
I'd be fine with.
I'm gonna personally I want to put him under, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay, so here are our, let's see, what number is this? How many do we have here?
We're all in top 25 territory now.
Yeah, this is true. Okay. This is hard.
Yeah.
All right, really Needle hard. Drop and H3H3.
There's 2 different fucking channels. Okay, so at 25, Shane Dawson. At 24, Boogie. 23, Philip DeFranco. 22, Jax Films. 21, Casey. 20, Needle Drop. Do any of those think you need to go lower?
Those all honestly sound like top 25 YouTubers to me. I think it would be very hard for me to see YouTube without any of those creators. Personally.
Right. Okay.
I think that some of these top ones that we have up here might end up being lower than we think.
We'll see.
Right now, but we'll see what happens. Okay. I think I like Internet Comment Etiquette better than both Peter McKinnon and Matt Diavella.
I probably like him more than Pete. Matt's a tough one.
Okay.
Matt's a tough one. But
That's
Peter's
fair.
The bottom, though.
All right, yeah, I think we're putting Peter at the end of this. So then Internet Comment Etiquette there. What about Matt versus H3H3?
Probably Matt for me.
Okay. I think I agree. Yeah, I mean, his content's just so solid. And then I think Gary V is still above. Well,
Matt. Gary's above Matt.
What about Nikki
but
Jakey?
Is he above Jakey? That's the tough. Those 2 are like the top 2 of the group, though.
You're right.
So either or. But those bottom 4 you have, Matt, H3, Common Etiquette, Peter, those 4 for sure.
I think looking at the top 15, top 10 now, we're getting into the really super creative bunch.
Yeah.
And I think as great as Gary Vee does, as great as his content does, like he knows what he's doing and he's doing it really well. I think Nikki Jakey is more creative 100%.
I agree. And it's like one dude and a couple of friends.
Exactly.
He embodies more of what YouTube is, too.
I think so. I think this is good.
I concur.
Okay.
With this list.
Trying to make sure.
Hey, that's another group, too. 20, The Needle Drop. 19, Peter McKinnon. 18, Internet Comment Etiquette. 17, H3H3 Productions. 16, Matt Diavella. And coming in at 15, Gary V.
Okay. This top is wild.
Good Lord.
Did you say MKBHD?
I did.
I think we both had it on our list, actually. IHE was both of us. Ralph was me. Markiplier and Jacksepticeye was both of us. Red Letter Media was me.
That was you. I was you.
That was me. Okay. Man, okay. Here's my question. Thinking about the creativity and shit. again.
Yeah.
Do we want to put H3H3 podcast in top 10?
I think that's the weakest of the group, is what I was
Because
going to
I
say.
think that's the weakest in the group, and I would even go as far to say that it should even go under Nakey Jakey and perhaps Gary V. But I don't know.
Under Jakey, maybe.
Okay.
I still think H3 podcast is like Gary V and them are kind of a similar crowd a little bit.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the same people show up through there a lot of the time. They're near each other for sure.
True. H3 has more variety.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah.
I would like to put Nakey above them, honestly.
I concur.
Are we putting Mark and Jack like right beside each other?
I think it'd be funny if we did.
Because I feel like they kind of have to be almost.
Be funny if we did.
Which one's better?
I like Jack more, but I know you like Mark more.
I don't know if I like Mark more, honestly.
Oh, okay.
I like both of them.
Jack for me.
But I'm thinking creatively wise and the shit they've done over the last couple years. Fuck, dude. I'm gonna put Jack over Mark, and they've both worked really hard and they've both done
both
a lot of great shit. But I'm gonna put Jack over Mark simply because I know his full backstory and I love how it turned out. And then are we cool with MKBHD being right after?
He's next.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's fine. That's fair.
Okay, so next set, Gary V at 15, H3 Podcast at 14, Nakey Jakey 13, Markiplier 12, Jacksepticeye 11. Coming in at the top 10, MKBHD, I Ate Everything, Ralph the Movie Maker at 8, iDubbbz at 7. We do not have that many people left.
Wait, what?
There's supposed to be 6, but we have 5.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
We didn't get rid of anybody, did we?
I don't think we did.
Let me check my list real quick, make sure that there's not. So, we lost one, and that was Cinemasker, which we're now putting at number 24, above Shane Dawson and under Boogie 2988.
Yeah, I felt like that was a good spot for him.
But now, we're into the top 5 boys. Which is going to be a little wild.
Good God.
Game Grumps, Vsauce, PewDiePie, JonTron, and Red Letter Media. I think that all these guys are going to be wildly successful for a very long time.
Yeah.
They're all super talented.
Mm-hmm.
They make some of the best content on the platform.
And only 3 of them were video game boys.
Only 3 of them.
Well, one of them didn't even. I mean, PewDiePie is playing Minecraft right now, but he didn't do video games for a while.
He's dabbling in
JonTron.
other shit. Vsauce has a video game background, though.
Yeah, so who knows? A lot of gamer moments here.
Okay, so number 5, I think that there are I think 2 of these boys have a case to be made to be number 5.
Okay.
I think Red Letter Media would be number 5 because they are, while they are underappreciated, what's the word? Underrated. I think that they're not everybody's cup of tea.
Sure.
And everybody else I've probably seen more of everybody else, but I think you could also make a case for Game Grumps being number 5 based on the amount of content that's there. Well, I don't know, that's a negative.
Is it? Yeah. Red Letter Media was going to be my 5, so.
Okay.
That's me.
I'm cool with that. Say. I think Red Letter Media would be number 5. If we're looking at numbers, they're definitely the least subscribed to in this category right here. Mm-hmm. But they still have they're going to continue to grow in the future. But I think that's a good number 5, personally. Okay.
I think my problem here is that PewDiePie to me is a top 3.
Yeah.
So I can't put him at 4. But the other 3 I also really like.
Here's a question. If PewDiePie was not the number 1 subscribed channel,
sure,
would he still be this high?
It definitely plays a role into it, I think. But I also, as of recently, have really liked his stuff. Same. Vsauce is another one where, like, I don't watch a Vsauce video every day, comparatively.
Right.
Like, out of the 4, the least I've watched, but, like, there's something to be said for, like, how long they've been there and what kind of stuff they do and how good it is. Do I watch it, though, compared to most of this? Not at all. They're the least on mine.
Yeah. And then here's the wild one, like, JonTron was a part of Game Grumps for a while.
That's true.
He is one of the starting members of it. And so it's like, looking at Game Grumps as a whole, most of it being now without John, do you put that over John?
To put it. Yeah.
Because honestly, I love so much of what Game Grumps is doing now over what they've done in the past. Especially their live action stuff. Alright, so what's a number 4? If PewDiePie is top 3.
I think to me he's top 3.
I think that he's top 3 for me as well.
I think 4 for me is Vsauce.
Okay.
For me.
I think I agree. I agree. I think PewDiePie has the numbers and the catalog. I think JonTron has the production value. And
Game Grumps has the empire.
The empire. Yeah, I think Game Grumps has the empire. Also the catalog. I think Vsauce has definitely the writing, which is why he's top 5.
Absolutely.
And I mean personality even and success, but I think Vsauce is top. A nice top 4 spot. Yeah. I agree. Okay. Fuck. I think I like Game Grumps more than JonTron. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Okay.
I think I would prefer to watch. I think I love JonTron, but when I look at like when I watch a 10-minute Power Hour versus when I watch a JonTron video when they come out, I will watch the 10-minute Power Hour over the JonTron video.
I think I agree with you, but like.
But then it's also like I'd watch a JonTron video over like 90% of a Game Grumps Let's Play too. Over a PewDiePie video, I think I agree with that too.
So that's what makes it weird for me.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I definitely think these are 3. 1, 2, and 3.
So I won't say it out loud, but it sounds like this is what we got. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like for sure.
Okay. You want to lock it in?
I don't know. Are we putting PewDiePie too low?
I mean, I don't think so. If anything, I think for him to be so high, people will be like, oh, you're only putting him that high because he's the biggest subscriber. You know, he's the most subscribed channel for so long. But, like, he got there for a reason, right? Like,
sure.
And if we're talking about clout and stuff, we'd have the Paul brothers on here, and we don't. Because they're garbage. Well. For multiple reasons.
Yeah. I think that's where I'm at. Just those 3 in that order.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Top 5 time, baby.
Top 5. At number 5, we have Red Letter Media. At number 4, Vsauce. Number 3, PewDiePie. Top 2. Number 2 being JonTron. And number 1, Game Grumps.
That's wild.
As the best.
That's so fucking wild.
YouTube channel of all time. Now, looking back over, are there any that like are too high, too low to you? Like that we have to move somewhere?
I mean, I think honestly, I think a lot of these are. I think if we both watch certain channels, they'd be higher.
Oh sure, yeah. Some of these I just don't know.
Yeah, same. I think that there are.
They can only get so far off of that.
I think some of the legacy creators that we have at the very bottom, I personally wish we could replace with somebody else, but because of that legacy, it's like, okay, it makes sense they're there.
Sure.
But I think the top 10 is pretty solid. I think 8, 9, and I think 9 and 10 are a little weird, but
Well,
they make sense. They make sense at least, right?
yeah. To the bottom of that group.
Like, it's when we think about that top 50 rappers list that is the inspiration of this, there were a lot to that list that just didn't make sense at all. Sure. And I feel like maybe there's a few on here that are super personal bias, but overall, I feel like a lot of this makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Is there anything you want to change?
I think you're right. I'm looking over just to be sure. But I think you're right.
Here's a question. Out of this list, is there anybody that you brought to the list that you would personally like to see higher?
Oh.
I'm just curious.
I think I like where everybody's at for the most part.
Okay.
I think the only one that's speaking to me a little bit more, but it's like the 11 are so rock solid.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want Jakey a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But like, how do you penetrate that 11, right? Like, it's such a brick wall.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, you get rid of one of them in favor of that.
I think that you could say Nakey Jakey is better than Markiplier.
Yeah.
I think you could even say he's better than Jack.
Mm-hmm.
But
I can't. I can't.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't say that. It's too much of a wall.
That's fair.
It's too much of these 11, right? I think a little bit too. I don't know how this happened, but the Ralph and IHE are maybe a little too high.
I think that's possible too, actually.
But like, given what the rest of this list looks like, I don't know who you put in those two spots. I feel like they kind of got like lucky in circumstances where these two were good for sure, but they got put in a group with amazing.
Yeah.
And they ended up in the top 10 off of that. But like, I don't know who in this list you put instead of them that I would feel comfortable with, right?
Right. For sure. I think if I'm looking at things like personal bias, like I would love to see like Anna and fucking Captain Disillusion higher. I think those out of the bottom ones are like the ones I'd be like, man, these should be higher. But obviously you haven't seen them, so it's fine.
Sure. We put them as high as we could for not seeing them.
We did, yeah, for sure. Even Austin McConnell I'd put a little bit higher, but it's like, what do you do?
Like a couple of these things, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good list, though.
I think it's a good list, though. I really do think it's a good list. I think there's going to be a lot that people are going to argue about. There's a lot that we didn't mention. A lot of big people that we didn't mention. A lot of smaller guys that are also really good.
Again, question of the day: who did we forget? Like who should have been here?
Please discuss this. Let us know what you're thinking, because I'm very interested in other people's tops. There's probably like I'm gonna go to bed later, and then I'm just gonna like
be like, fuck,
think,
no.
Oh, I forgot about this dude that I watch like all the time.
We only did like a little bit of research of who we came to mind. And Zach still managed to get like several that I've totally forgot about.
Yeah. Thinking about like YouTube as a whole, I think that it's wild how there are thousands of channels with million subscriber plus that could arguably be on this list that we don't even know about. I do wish, and I'm not usually like the person that's like, man, we need diversity, but I do wish there was a bit more diversity here. Because, you know, like we only have a few women on here. A lot of these people are just like white guys.
Sure. I guess like my question is,
they're all English speakers too. That's a little wild because I know that they're like, there's a couple of channels that I watch that like speak Japanese or do shit in other countries. It's very English, biased.
I guess my question is number one, or three questions. Number one, what does this list tell us about what me and you watch? Number two, what does this list tell us about like YouTube, the platform? And three, what does this list tell us about success on YouTube and how to get there?
Yeah.
Those are the kind of my three top questions right now that are on my mind.
Well, the first one.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the first one you said, what does this list talk about? What we watch?
Yeah. What does this tell about us, me and you, specifically, on a real personal level?
Like, there's a lot of nerd bias.
Oh,
yeah.
There's
like
a big
100%.
media one too, obviously.
But I feel like I feel like YouTube
media.
as a whole is very biased towards nerds. I think that if you have a YouTube channel, you're pretty much a nerd because you're talking about one main thing most of the time. And that means you're nerdy about that kind of thing. There's a lot of gaming shit on here, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm wondering if that's subject to circumstance. Is that because we've come from that gaming atmosphere? Or, like, would other people put Game Grumps so high? Like, I don't know. Probably not. But, it doesn't feel wrong for it to be there. So, there's a lot of variety here, too, though. There is a lot of variety. And I think if I were to pull out, like, other channels that I watch on a regular basis that I know you wouldn't know about or other people wouldn't know about, like, I could even fill up more variety and diversity here.
Sure.
But, like, a lot of those channels are still growing.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think as far as question number two is, what does this list tell us about the platform itself? Legacy matters, I think.
A lot more than I thought.
How long you've been around, how long you've been at the craft, and how long has that audience been with you are key factors. Because, like, we have a lot of legacy creators, but we also have legacy creators that are still active too, like we
watch and enjoy.
That we watch and enjoy today, and they still make content today. There were still so many legacy creators we cut because they weren't active. Look how many are on here and are still active, like an insane amount.
Like, to give some numbers, like our bottom 5 are all legacy creators that we don't really watch.
Sure.
Our top 5 are all legacy creators that we do watch.
Right.
Like, they're all like 10 years plus.
Yeah.
Everything in the middle, there's so many people in here that's a legacy creator. And that's kind of wild. Yeah, I didn't realize.
Jack's Films, Casey Neistat. Like, this stretch here.
The needle drop, yeah. And then at that point, it's
go even further. Like, here?
Yeah.
All legacy people. Like,
yeah.
26 through 19 is legacy people. So that's one thing I notice a lot about this list. And, like, the reverse into that, you don't have too many newer people on here as a result of that.
Right.
There are a few. Scott's a good exception to that rule, and I'm glad he's on here. I'm glad even though, like, he's only been around for a year or two, we both were like, yeah, he's still the best. Like,
yeah,
still
for
top
sure.
50 material. Jablinski Games is obviously new, but he's a celebrity. You know, just a lot of, like, there's a few newer faces here that, like, I think are really cool. But they're definitely less here. And then, like, the other thing is just
23 out of 50 are legacy creators.
23 out of 50. Wow.
I've been on here for, like, at least 8 years and potentially 10 years or more. Yeah.
And the final thing that I think this tells us about the platform in general is that there are definitely some genres on YouTube that fucking stick.
Mm-hmm.
Gaming, tech, vlogging, film. Like,
yeah.
Everybody.
Those are probably top 4, yeah.
And are, like, top 20 fits somewhere into that, usually. You
Yeah.
like fit somewhere into that. And that's not to say like we don't have different genres. I mean, we have 2 food channels, for God's sake, like both that I brought up. We have talk shows, we have animation channels, we have all sorts of stuff. But our top 20 on our list, and hell, in YouTube popularity, not just our list, like there's a few genres that really stick and a few not as much. And even still, there are a couple of outliers. Like MKBHD was the only tech guy we picked, but there are thousands upon thousands of tech channels with 1 million subs that we could have put on here.
Yeah, I mean, arguably, like, Unbox Therapy has, like, 15 million over MKBHD's top 10 million, right? Linus Tech
Media,
Tips.
Ralph, IHE.
Like, there's a lot of those.
There's 1,000 of these film channels.
We didn't bring up Chris Stuckman or Jeremy Johns, who are more well-known for film than these other guys.
iDubbbz and H3, kind of this comedy, kind of this satire bit. H3 podcast kind of falls into that a little bit, too. Internet
then you have,
Common
like,
Etiquette, Jack's Films, that group. A little bit. Like there's cliques here. Of like genres that we selected from here.
Boogie could even go in that category.
And then the third question was this tell us about like YouTube success. I don't know. That's a tough one.
It's like a lot of these people have built their career in a bunch of different ways. I mean, top 5 Game Grumps was Aaron and John. Both came from their own respective successes to come together on a side project. That side project became bigger than their individual things. John moved on. He did more with JonTron. That became bigger, right? Like PewDiePie, you know, he's got like this entire fucking road to success. All these different things that kind of came together to make his success. Vsauce, like I said, he started doing like some really dumb gaming type things and then started going into the educational stuff, got a YouTube Red show. Red Letter Media has been making videos in a warehouse for 12 years, started on their own website. It's like, that's just top 5. I think here's something interesting. Here's something really interesting. Almost all of these are independent creators who are either doing things on their own, started in their bedroom, or did it with a friend, started in their bedroom.
And to add on to that, like, look how many of these are just somebody's name. Ralph.
Yeah, true.
Marquez, that's literally his initials. Jack, Mark, Jacob, Matt Diavella, Gary V, Peter McKinnon, Casey Neistat, Philip DeFranco, Shane Dawson, Anaconda, like Scott, Bill, Austin.
Yeah.
Like people, personality, right? Like that's what I'm getting out of all this. Like all these people that we liked for one reason or another had way more to do with who they were as people than the content ever did.
Oh, absolutely.
Why do we like Game Grumps? We hate Let's Plays. We love the people. Why do we like JonTron? Fucking everybody makes gaming and fucking pop culture videos. The personality. PewDiePie, the personality. Vsauce, Michael from Vsauce. Red Letter Media, the characters. Ian, Ralph, Alex, Marquez, Jack, Mark, Jacob, Ethan and Hila, Gary, Matt, Ethan and Hila again. Like, people. Human beings. Not corporations, not any of that. Personality-driven stuff. The people behind the camera, the people working that. Had a huge effect on not only the channels we recommended, but the ones that like stayed in our head. Which is like people with the personality and a vision behind it. And I feel like that goes a long way. And they did their own thing too. They all went their own path and like had their own vision and personality behind it.
I also want to like just some kind of motivation for the audience, because you know one of the things you might be thinking of is like, okay, these are our top 50 YouTubers. Like, how could I make that list, right? And a lot of people think top 50 of something means numbers. Sure. But if you go to Social Blade and you look at the top 50 YouTube channels on there with the most subs, the most views, the most uploads, it is music channels, it is children's channels, it is movie trailer channels. Literally the top 20 27 or top 26 fit those categories, and then it's PewDiePie.
Yeah.
The first like independent creator
on the list.
with like on like this kind of they're sorted by whatever ranking they do. But then it's like even in the top 10 on by subscribers, PewDiePie's number 3 now because of YouTube Music. And like again, music, 5-minute crafts, which is a joke. And then it's like, so yeah, what this means is like you as a creator, as a personality, as a person, can definitely impact somebody's day way more than a business.
Sure.
And you may not get like the most subscribers or the most views, but like that impact is substantially worth more than any of the numbers.
And the other thing too, for like a little bit of motivation, these people have gone to this list for like blood, sweat, and tears, and years of hard work. Some of these people in the top 20 have been around on YouTube for 10 years or more. 10 years. Some even 13. Yeah. Like an absurd amount of time. You want to talk about like, oh, why do I not have 1 million subs already, or why am I not growing? The top 20 have been doing this for 10 to 13 years.
Yeah.
And some of them are just now getting to this point in their career. So what does that say about like you and your journey? What does that say about you and your process? None of these people had success overnight. None of these people had an audience right away. None of these people were the biggest in their genre immediately. All of it, for all of them, took time. And those first videos, for a lot of them, are still up. They're still uploaded. MKHB is like a kid sitting in front of a laptop. That's his first video.
No, actually, you know what his first first real video was?
What?
Him swinging a golf, like golf him club, playing golf.
Yeah, as a kid.
Because he was trying to learn how to golf, and he wanted somebody to teach him like how to have a better golf swing, and so he put up a couple of videos as a kid.
Yeah.
For that. And then he did a tech review on a laptop, and that's what started like his tech obsession.
Needle Drop, Peter, Gary, Matt, like these people have been around for such a long time. And so people get discouraged that they're not growing right away, or they're not big immediately, or they're not like PewDiePie or whatever. This shit takes time, man. Mm-hmm. YouTube rewards that time. And it gives a little bit of hope for anybody to be like, yo, if you put in as much work as these guys do, if you're committed to this for that long, then yeah, you probably deserve to be on this list in one form or another. Like, you know, but it doesn't come free. It doesn't come overnight. It doesn't come if you're just starting out. Even some of the more recent ones like Jack and Mark are more recent in comparison to a lot of these
but even
guys.
That's like 5
Worked
years.
Their ass off.
Right?
Like 5,000 fucking videos like a year from some of these dudes. Like, that work matters. That time matters.
Definitely. I think the last thing I would kind of bring out of all this is that like a lot of these creators make timeless content. Mm-hmm. They're not focused on trends. They might do a trend every once in a while, like PewDiePie playing Minecraft right now. Like that's a trend thing, but he's still having fun with it. Mm-hmm. And like he wouldn't have continued it if he didn't have fun with it. So many of these creators just don't ride trends at all. And so a lot of newer creators especially think, oh, in order for me to get big, in order for me to get popular, in order for me to be successful, I got to ride trends. But not only have most of these not done that, but some of these have created their own trends. Mm-hmm. Mr. Beast, for example, Boogie2988, Jack's Films, like they experimented with stuff and they got big.
I agree.
So, yeah, find something you're passionate about and just do it. Because that's what seems to be another thing right here. All these people are like passionate about what they're doing. And it shows.
100%. You can tell if you're phoning it in on a Let's Play, or you're doing it because gaming was popular, or you're phoning in a vlog by running into someone's backyard with a lot of money and be like, wow, look at my lifestyle. Like,
Mm-hmm.
You have to love what you're doing, right? You have to enjoy what you're doing, and you have to like put in a lot to show that. But man, like in the end result, there's a lot of great content out on YouTube. So much so that even though I made that fast food comment a while ago, some of these dudes in the top 10 are like, oh God, like I'd be lucky to eat fast food this good every day. Like I'd be in heaven. And some of these people do like even crazier shit beyond that, like, you know, YouTube Red shows for a couple of these dudes. Second channels about like squirrel hunting, like
freaking high dubs and his weird shit.
Wild shit. Ralph making movies.
Yeah.
Sardonicast. Whatever. MKHB has a YouTube Red show called Retro Tech. Pretty cool. Can recommend.
PewDiePie has a YouTube Red show.
Well,
but he got canceled.
Yeah, he did.
Like I said, Markiplier has that interactive series. Yeah. And it's like everything that these guys have done, they could definitely take those skills and put them towards something else and still be successful.
Yeah. I think everybody on the top 50 could drop YouTube tomorrow and would still succeed in some form or creative fashion.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
They're
Whether
all
it's
that
like
talented.
a lot of these people go on to be an actor or an editor or a producer or, you know, a writer, a manager, go write books, go make TV shows, go make movies, all that kind of stuff, and go make music. Some of these are musicians, and it's like people like Nakey Jakey has made music, but we didn't talk about it. Jacksepticeye plays drums, but we didn't talk about it. Like, a lot of these people are just insanely talented on so many levels.
Yeah. Crazy to think about. It's also
and here I am uploading my dumb shit on the same website.
Sure. Like, it'll be wild to see, like, how the next 10 years of YouTube develop to where we're at in, like, 2026, if, like, even half of these people are at a point now where they're, like, in Hollywood or TV or whatever, and the new wave of people kind of take up the majority of this list.
Yeah.
Because we're still very early on in the stages of this. You may think like this stone is set and solid and concrete. This was only over a period of about 12 or 13 years. We are in the infancy of this shit, guys. We are just starting. If you have a YouTube channel today, you are in the infancy of this stuff. long term. Like, crazy to see what'll happen. And some of these people will grow. I think Beast will grow. Scott will grow. Completionist will grow. Some of these guys will fall off, like some of these legacy ones. I'm so excited to see this like new wave of people climb up this list.
Same.
People who starting out today even climb up this list. You have no idea. The shit is constantly changing. It's volatile. It's open for any possibilities. For new genres, for new topics, new experimentation. That's how these people got here, and that's how new people will get up here. It's all open and freeing. It'll be so fascinating to see how it changes. Right.
I mean, we're looking at 12-year-old channels, but like in the movie industry, there are actors that have worked for 30, 40, 50 years. Yeah. So it's like, what's going to happen in 30 years from now? Is PewDiePie still going to be making videos 30 years from now? I hope so. I think that'd be the coolest shit ever.
It would be really cool.
Is Red Letter Media still going to be doing shit in 20 years? I hope so. I hope they're freaking old men with canes and shit talking about movies. They're already halfway there. Like, yeah, I really hope that, like, as old as some of these channels are, that they just keep going.
I'm excited to see their next chapter, what that content looks like. If it tries to play it safer or more to the algorithm, or if some of these channels get old to the point where, like, fuck it, I've had my time. I'm going to just do some wild, random, risky shit.
Yeah.
Because why not? You made it that big anyway. Like,
right, for sure.
Have fun with it a little bit. So, we'll have to see.
Yeah. Let's see.
Get sold out to Daily Motion or something. I don't know.
That'd be great. Daily Motion, man. I forgot that existed for like a solid.
That's the next episode. It's the top 50 Daily Motion creators.
I literally forgot that existed for like a solid 6 months.
We're going to go list all the Daily Motion creators from the best to the worst.
I was thinking about Vidler earlier, And I forgot about Daily Motion. Yeah, because Gary Vee was talking about it recently. He started on YouTube, and then he went to Vidler on an exclusive deal for like 6 months. And stopped uploading on YouTube, and he said he regrets it. I think it's funny as hell. Yeah, the last thing probably I can think of a good lesson out of this is like to experiment. Like if you're starting out, like definitely experiment, figure out exactly what you want to do. Because a lot of these guys just experimented and did a lot to get to where they are now. There's probably like past side channels of at least 30 of these guys that we don't know anything about.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
And that's really cool to me.
Cool list though. I had a lot of fun putting it together.
I agree.
I don't envy you in the editing process of this because we're like at 4 hours at this point, and an hour probably has to be cut out to make it listenable. But you know, it'll. I had a lot of fun, and
Me too.
I kind of want to check out these channels you recommended as well.
Yeah, Sam, I'm checking out some of those channels you recommended for sure.
And we recommend you guys too as well. And hey, question of the day: who did we forget? Be sure to let us know. And if we make like any obvious fuck ups, we'll talk about it in the next episode. Be like, oh yeah, you're probably right. So.
True. So to just kind of end up the podcast, because we don't have any comments this week because we're like 4 episodes behind. We will be uploading all of these episodes in, I think, September. I think that's the plan. We got 4 episodes in a extra-sode. Uploading them in September. I think we'll probably do the next. Actually, I might go and upload one at the end of this month if I can, because I want to start getting comments again. So that when we can record the next episode, we can have comments for that one.
Sure.
Anyways, it'll be a couple episodes before we get back to the comments on this one, but it won't be too long for you guys. So, let us know what you think about the episode and the list. I'm going to have the list in the description. It's going to be a Google spreadsheet. All the links to all the channels will be on that spreadsheet. And
fun with that.
Yeah, it won't take me long because I'm going to be going through a lot of these channels again anyways.
You subscribing to all of them?
Most of them are in my subscriptions anyways.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it won't be too long. And then there will be a little image. There'll be a Twitter link in the description to the photoshopped image of the top 50 list. If you want, hit it up, retweet it. It'd be cool to like get a lot of people to see this and shout it out, because I think it'll spark a lot of conversation.
Yeah,
for sure.
Tell us how wrong we are mainly.
Yeah. I'm expecting to get shot on like completely. Yeah. So. Game Grumps at number 1. What the F?
Who the fuck even is Snaky Jakey?
What even is a Vsauce?
Yeah.
Oh, anyway,
like that's the thing is like you said, there's so many subs, so many channels with just 1 million subs on here. Like we left like half of them out.
Yeah, and I'm literally gonna have to put a disclaimer and be like, some of these are biased as fuck. There is a bias towards English speaking channels. It's like
gaming.
Fuck, dude.
All that shit.
Gaming. It makes me wanna make more videos about YouTubers so that I can just kind of go experiment and find some more shit. Like some off the wall shit I never thought I'd find.
That's true.
But yeah, this has been fun. I like this a lot.
It was a fun little 40th episode to do some shit we had never done before, and also like talk about Jesus, the amount of shit we've been through.
Yeah,
in your 4 months on YouTube segment.
Yeah, it's always very cathartic.
I agree. So you win another 4 months when we do that segment for the next episode.
Exactly.
Because we trademarked that one too. So
yeah, it'll probably happen, honestly. But nah. Real quick, if you are enjoying the podcast, if you like the podcast, we would very much appreciate it if you subscribe to us on the YouTube channel or followed us on any of the following podcast platforms: Spotify, Google Play. Apple Music is no longer called, or Apple Podcasts no longer called iTunes, which is weird. Rate us, review us anywhere if you would like to. That'd be dope. Leave us a comment. let us know what you're thinking again about the podcast, this particular episode, whatever. Or you can email me at zachsnyderproductions@gmail.com. That is in the show notes and the description.
It's also on the Blue Couch Productions website. Another YouTube podcast section is there.
There you go.
It is under all the Aden on Anchor episodes in like a YouTube playlist. But it's there.
This is true. And you want to get really wild real quick? You want me to tell you something really insane?
What's insane?
That I completely forgot to mention at the beginning of the episode.
What?
We uploaded our first episode of this podcast 2 years ago in like 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. Our 2-year anniversary was July 28th.
Been that long.
Yeah.
We're still doing it. That's crazy.
Wait a second. Yeah. No, wait a minute. Maybe it's been a year. Has it been a year?
It's been at least a year.
Or has it been 2 years? It's been a year. Okay.
A year at least.
July 28th, 2018 was the first.
That channel wasn't a thing because we did it originally on the ZSP channel.
We did. Okay. Hold on. Let me look at the specific then. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass.
Like when you put it on the audio platforms or when you put it on ZSP.
This is the YouTube channel. What's the?
Let
me look at the.
Go off of.
Let me see if I can find the. Yeah, let me see if I can find the specific thing. I think I have it on Anchor. I think it tells me like.
Well, like this
was originally uploaded.
The first episode was starting a YouTube channel in 2017.
That's true. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, this is definitely like a 2-year thing.
We lose track, guys. I don't know.
Watch me be completely off the bar. Okay, never mind. May 22nd. No, that's not. Originally aired August 13th, 2017. Look at that. I was right. 2 years, 2 days. Wow. 2 days from now, it'll be 2 years.
Jesus Christ.
It'll be 2 years after this airs, but like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. By the time you're listening to it.
We have known each other for like
September.
2.5 years.
Yeah,
how wild is that?
Almost all that time. Good Lord.
How wild is that?
But, so it's episode 38, 39, the extra sode, and then 40?
Yes.
All in September?
All in September.
Okay.
I might go ahead and upload the extra sode like this month.
Do that whenever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can do it tomorrow, today, where who cares?
It won't happen today or tomorrow because I ain't edited, but you know. Last but not least, if you want to help support the podcast financially, that'd be epic. You go to anchor.fm/another-youtube-podcast. Again, show notes, description. It's like Patreon, but for podcasts. Hit us up with a little donation or something like that, and we'll call you out and give you a little shout out in the next episode of the podcast.
It's pretty cool.
I agree. Anyways, it's 8:00 in the morning. So
that's true.
It's been a long night. So with that being said, I've been Zach.
And I've been Aden.
We want to thank you for listening to this episode of Another YouTube Podcast.
Feet.
Yeah,
Feet.
All right.
Okay, I'm stopping.
Ew.